Hello, everyone, and a welcome inside Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. It's the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jacket football team set to host the number 2 ranked team in the country out of Alliance, Ohio, the University of Mount Union Purple Raiders. It's always a special day when you get a team the caliber of Mount Union to come into your home stadium and a chance for Baldwin Wallace to shine. They come in with an unblemished 3-0 record off of last week's 44-7 win over the Capital Comets down in Bexley. They're 1-0 at home, 3-0 overall, and this is where you want to sit going into the Mount Union game, full of confidence, knowing the run game's working, the pass game's working, and the defense is doing what they need to do to force turnovers and keep points off the board.
You need all the help you can get coming in against Mount Union. You're firing on all cylinders right now, and you're going to need that going against arguably the best team in the country for the past 40 years.
You're talking about an esteemed tradition when you're talking about the Mount Union Purple Raiders. These two teams have met 62 times on the gridiron. The Purple Raiders lead the all-time series by a margin of 40, 21, and 1. They have won the last 29 meetings with Baldwin Wallace. The series began in 1896 as the Yellow Jackets posted a 10-0 victory in Alliance. The last BW win came in 1994 when the Yellow Jackets knocked off the Purple Raiders by a final score of 23-10 in Alliance. The last Yellow Jacket victory in Berea was in 1991. And here's a statistic for you. It is the last time the Purple Raiders lost an Ohio Athletic Conference road game. Baldwin Wallace won that one by a 21-18 count. It's been a long time coming for the Yellow Jackets to try and get a victory over the Purple Raiders, and now is as good a time as any. You get them on the home field. You have a beautiful crowd that is still pouring in. The tailgates were lively this morning, and everybody's ready to go.
And if you want to win the OAC, you got to go through Mount Union. Not a whole lot of bunch of teams have been able to do that, but this is the best opportunity you can get. If you want to win it, you got to punch the biggest bully in the mouth as hard as you can, and hopefully you come away with that victory.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Matt Florjancic. I'm joined in the booth by Brian Verkan on the call of today's game, and we look forward to bringing you what should be an excellent contest in Ohio Athletic Conference play. It's the Flow College Division III Game of the Week, and we look forward to bringing it to you. Taking an in-depth look at the individuals who will play some big parts in this game. We'll start off with the head coaches. First, for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, Jim Hilvert is in his 9th season at the helm of the Yellow Jacket program. He has a record of 52-23 and an OAC slate of 44-21. He is 119-42 in 16 overall seasons as a head coach, and he is 0-7 against the Purple Raiders, and he would love to put one in the left-hand column this afternoon. Mount Union is led by Coach Jeff Dart. He is in his 6th season with the Purple Raiders and has a career record of 58-4. He is unblemished, 40-0 in Ohio Athletic Conference play. He's 5-0 against Baldwin Wallace, as these two teams did not meet in the COVID-19 shortened spring season of 2021. The last time these two teams met was right here, nearly 365 days ago. It was September 28th, 2024. Baldwin Wallace outscored by Mount Union 52-14. BW had 199 yards passing, 86 yards rushing, 285 total yards. Mount Union, 195 yards passing, 135 yards rushing, and 330 total yards. Taking a look at Baldwin Wallace in Week 2, this team erupted for 63 points and 608 yards of total offense on 371 yards rushing and 277 yards passing against the Wilmington Quakers. BW also had 2 pick sixes in that game. J.D. Krause had the one that was inside the 15-yard line in a shorter return, and then Devontae Jackson, the senior linebacker out of Cleveland and John Hay High School, jumped a screen route and took it 83 yards to the house, had just enough gas in the tank to make it across the goal line. And I spoke with Devontae after that interception, and we kind of had a good chuckle about it because he was talking very much about how he would have never heard the end of it if he ran out of gas short of the goal line.
No, you're going to get all your teammates You get an interception like that, you got to take it to the house, and yeah, you're going to get razzed as soon as if you don't make it all the way to the end zone.
Devontae Jackson is tied for first in the conference with 2 interceptions, and as I mentioned earlier, he had the 83-yard return for a touchdown against Wilmington 2 weeks ago. Offensively, the Yellow Jackets led by Charlie Bubonics, 62 of 90 for 690 yards with 5 touchdowns against 1 interception. He's third in the conference in yards and passing efficiency and fourth in touchdown passes. Running the football, junior running back George Lindberger out of St. Vincent St. Mary High School. He's a Barberton native. He leads the ground game and is second in the Ohio Athletic Conference with 414 yards. He leads the league with 5 touchdowns and is fourth in carries with 52. Senior All-Ohio Athletic Conference wide receiver Tim Conwell leads the aerial attack for Baldwin Wallace, 16 catches, 189 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Taking a look at the Purple Raiders, quarterback Mikey Maloney leads the way, 40 of 55 for 612 yards with 7 touchdowns. Senior All-OAC running back Darnell Williams has rushed for 179 yards on 26 carries with 3 touchdowns. All-Ohio Athletic Conference wide receiver Nick Turner has 18 receptions and is 5th best in the league with 233 yards and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, a name you need to know, All-Ohio Athletic Conference linebacker Weston Arthur leads the team with 12 tackles. The captains are meeting at midfield. Baldwin Wallace represented on the captain's side by Charlie Bubonics, George Lindberger, Nolan Hartzell, and Dom Tromba. Mount Union represented by 3 captains, Giovanni Kennedy, Jerry Cooper Jr., and Caleb Brown are the captains. So Mount Union won the toss, deferred choice to the second half. Baldwin Wallace will take the ball to start the game, and Baldwin Wallace will defend the north goal. Baldwin Wallace in the all-gray uniforms today, gray jerseys, gray pants, and gray helmets with the BW Athletic logo adorning both sides in brown and gold, and a gold and white stripe down the side or down the middle of the helmet with jackets on the back of it. The numbers are in gold. Baldwin Wallace written in gold across the front, brown and gold accents on the shoulders and down the sides of the jerseys. Mount Union in their all-white uniforms. They have white jerseys and white pants with purple accents down the sides, purple numerals, Raiders written in purple, and the purple helmet with the white face mask, the classic look with Raiders listed on either side. Mount Union will defend the south goal, and it's a modest breeze at best coming out of the northwest so far here at Finnie Stadium. Otherwise, it is an absolutely picture-perfect day for college football. You couldn't ask for much more out of this day. You want this game to be played in optimal conditions, and that is indeed what we will have today as the Purple Raiders and the Yellow Jackets square off. Connell Rafferty will tee it up at the 35 for Mount Union. Back deep to return for Baldwin Wallace, Dirk Hutchinson and Tavion Greaves. And when you get the ball to start against Mount Union, Brian, you have to take advantage of the opportunities that you get. It's an opportunity for you to play from in front rather than behind against the number 2 team in the country.
Never want to play catch-up to a team like Mount Union. You always want the ball first. You always want to take time off the clock, play your game, make them come to you rather than you try to catch up to them.
Rafferty has it teed up at the 35, gives his team their final instructions, approaches the ball, and sends it down the field with the right foot. It'll be fielded at the 4 by Greaves. He gets it up to the 20, tripped up, but keeps his balance to the 30, 35, across the 35, out to the 37, where the Yellow Jackets will have it, 1st and 10.
Great return right up front. It looked like he got tripped up right at the beginning. Thought he was going to lose his balance, but he kept underneath himself and was able to get almost to the 40.
Nice field position for the Yellow Jackets. They're going to back it up 1 yard and say it's at the 36, but either way, the Yellow Jackets with good field position to start this first drive against one of the best defenses that they're going to face all year long. We'll get the defensive starters to you in just a second as Bubonics breaks the huddle with 3 wide receivers in the formation, 2 out right, a wing on the left side, and Lindberger in the backfield. It'll be Lindberger who pushes the pile across the 40 out to the 41-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 on first down.
Nice little zone read right up front. Just went right up the middle. The line was able to get a good 4 yards right off the bat. Almost it looks like 5 yards.
So 2nd and 5 for the Yellow Jackets. 2 receivers go out left, 1 out right. And the tight end's on the line on the left side. Now he'll motion into the backfield. He's a wing on the right side. Lindberger, the back in the backfield. Tight end motions back left. Bubonics looking right the whole way. Throws it, and there was a miscommunication somewhere in the game plan because Shondell Gardner was running the go route, and Bubonics threw the out route.
Yeah, he had great protection. He had plenty of time. Looked like it was just going to be a quick out, and, there was a big miscommunication right there. So lost big missed opportunity right there.
So 3rd and 5 after the incompletion for the Yellow Jackets. They'll send Xavier Balson out wide on his own, out left, and it'll be a triangle of wide receivers out right with 1 back in the backfield. Now man goes in motion. Bubonics looks left, throws it. It's complete to Balson. That's first down yardage across the 45 to the 47-yard line before he's driven into the Raider bench.
Nice little separation there. He was able to just get enough just to get the first down, and still good production up front. They're not getting a whole lot of press yet, so good signs up front already.
The Jackets will sub in a tight end for a wide receiver. That's Bronson Speedy, who will sub in. Great football name. He'll be on the right side of the offensive line. It'll be 3 wide receivers out right for the Yellow Jackets. Now Speedy will cross over and go to the left side. 1 back in the backfield. Bubonics hands off to Lindberger. He's around left tackle and gets across the line of scrimmage, gets to the 48-yard line. Gain of 1 on the play.
Yeah, didn't have a whole lot of room there on the left. He ran it to a bunch of defenders just waiting for him. Was lucky he was able to get 1 yard.
So it'll bring up a 2nd and 9 for Baldwin Wallace. Ball spotted at the BW 48-yard line. 4 receiver set, 2 out left, 2 out right, 1 back in the backfield with Bubonics. Bubonics takes the low snap, field it clean it over the middle. It's complete to Conwell. He's into Mount Union territory to the 45, and he's right near the first down marker, and he will have enough, says the head linesman. He got it right to the sticks, and Baldwin Wallace will have it 1st and 10 at the Purple Raider 42.
Find that soft spot right in the deep middle of the defense and was able to get that just past that first down marker again. You don't need to get too far. As long as you just get that first down, get new chains.
3 wide receivers bunched left. Now a whole lot of shifting to the right as the Yellow Jackets will send 2 of those 3 out right, and they will join Gardner. Bubonics takes a snap, fakes the handoff, throws it across the middle, and a good defense applied there by Weston Arthur. He really closed on that passing lane, and he took it away for an incompletion.
He read that really well and almost jumped that route. Luckily, it was a little underthrown ball, so didn't have to.
If it's thrown on the mark, it's going back the other way. But fortunately, the Yellow Jackets live to find another down. It's 2nd and 10 for BW. 5 receiver set. Now they'll call Lindberger back to the backfield. He'll flank Bubonics on the left side. 3 receivers out right. Bubonics takes the snap. He's looking left. Throws it to Lindberger. He catches it inside the 40, and he's run out of bounds near the 38-yard line. So nice gain on 2nd down for Baldwin Wallace, and they'll bring up a 3rd and medium now. Call it 3rd and 6. And the ball will be spotted at the Mount Union 38.
Yeah, you don't want to get into those 3rd and long situations where you know you're going to pass, and so Mount Union is just going to pin the ears back and just rush.
4-3 look for the Purple Raiders with 4 men in the defensive backfield. The Yellow Jackets will have 2 receivers sprint out right, 2 out left. Bubonics takes a snap, looking over the middle, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Balson, and plenty of heat came from the middle of that Mount Union defensive line and really disrupted the play for Baldwin Wallace.
Yeah, he really didn't have a whole lot of time to get that ball out. He was lucky he was able to get the ball out. He had a man right in his face right as he threw that pass.
So 4th down and 6 for Baldwin Wallace at the Mount Union 38. The offense staying on the field, trying to make a statement early against the Purple Raiders. 4 receivers, 2 out right, 2 out left. Now they'll shift and send Harley Barman across to the right, so it's 3 out right now, 1 tight to the left side. Bubonics takes the snap. He's looking left. He throws it, and it's going to be broken up on the play by Mount Union. Coming up with the play, Kosa Theravulu. And that'll be a turnover on downs forced by the Purple Raiders. So they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. I mean, obviously you don't like the result of the play, but I like the aggressiveness by Baldwin Wallace to come out and say, hey, we're not taking a backseat to anybody on our own field. We're going to make you stop us. And they forced Mount Union to do that.
You can't play soft to a team like Mount Union. You got to go right at them.
So Maloney sends a man in motion. That's Nick Turner. He's looking left all the way, throws it deep down the field, and it's going to be broken up on the play by the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Cornerback Malik Duffy, he was tested, but he got a hand in there at the last second and broke up the deep ball.
He was step for step, and he didn't lose. He didn't lose that step, and was able to break up that pass up right at the end.
Yeah, Jacob Cockrell was the intended target. He was a 5'11", 175-pound senior receiver out of Stockbridge, Georgia, and Dutchtown High School. He had good position, but Malik Duffy, great close, got inside position on him and broke up the pass. 3 receivers set for the Purple Raiders. They're motion a man to a wing on the left side. Fake the handoff inside. Maloney throws it over the middle, and it's complete for 1st down yardage into Yellow Jacket territory. On the reception, Davion Grant out of Naples, Florida, gets the ball to the Yellow Jacket 46. Call it a gain of 16.
Nice little play action pass right there. Kept the ball and was able to get the guy wide open in the middle of the field to get that big gain on now for a 1st down.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Purple Raiders. Ball spotted at the BW 46-yard line. 4 receivers in the formation, 1 out right, 3 out left, and 1 back in the backfield behind Maloney. He motions the fullback inside, and it'll be a handoff inside. Good pressure by the Yellow Jackets, limiting the carry to a gain of 2 yards. That was Darnell Williams on the carry, and Hasim Rashid for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets was first to the football.
Defensive line was able to hold their ground, and Mount Union wasn't able to get any holes open. So, I mean, get a 2 yards on a 1st down. That's a win for Baldwin Wallace.
We have a Raider who's slow to get up, and now he will take a seat inside Mount Union territory. Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them for the injured Mount Union Purple Raider. You're listening to the Flow College Game of the Week between the visiting Mount Union Purple Raiders and host Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Back on the other side of this break. Hello, everyone, and a welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium. The injured Mount Union Purple Raider is their center, Pat Lavelle, a St. Ignatius graduate. He is walking to the sideline under his own power, a little hitch in the giddy-up, and we see the backup center, Parker Jenks, out of Hudson, doing some warm-ups with Mikey Maloney on the sideline, trying to get that snap down so there's no miscommunication. As a former offensive lineman, how hard is it to get thrown into service mid-game?
Especially as a center, it's always really tough.
Maloney hands off to Williams. He tries to get around left end, and he is not going to get there as Nolan Hartzell shoots up from his linebacker spot, meets him right at the line of scrimmage, and drops him right there.
Thought he saw that hole on the left side, but he closed it real quick and didn't get anywhere.
Nolan Hartzell making a play at the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 8 for Mount Union from the Baldwin Wallace 44. It'll be a 4-receiver set, and they'll flank Williams out to the left side as well. So empty backfield at the moment. Now Williams will settle back into Maloney's left side. Nick Turner goes in motion right to left and back out right. Maloney takes the snap. He's looking right the whole way. Throws it on the run. It's complete, but the Yellow Jackets are going to get the stop short of the first down marker, as coming up to make the tackle for the Yellow Jackets, Malik Duffy.
2 big plays by him on this drive so far, on the first play of the drive, and then the shut down that third down play, so he couldn't get that first down.
Yeah, Mason Ashby was the intended target on that pass. He caught it, but he was getting no yards after the catch as he was met by Duffy. So it'll bring up a 4th and 3 from the Baldwin Wallace 39. Mount Union staying on the field just like Baldwin Wallace. Turner goes in motion right to left. Maloney takes a snap, fakes the handoff inside, throws it out to a wide open Turner at the 25, 15, 10, 5, dances along the sideline, and they're going to say that he is in for the Mount Union Purple Raider touchdown. And now we have a conference between the head linesman and the side judge, and they're going to say that the touchdown will not stand, as the head linesman says, I think he stepped out at the 6.
Yeah, it looked like he was tiptoeing down the sideline there, and I didn't think he got in, but I don't get paid the big bucks to make that decision.
Broadcasters rarely do. So, no touchdown, but it'll be a 1st and goal situation for the Purple Raiders, and they'll have it at the Baldwin Wallace 6-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like there was a blown coverage on that 4th down play.
Yeah.
Nice little run option. Maloney kept it, and then he was wide open there on the left flat, and there was no one near him. He was able to just get all the way down to the 6.
Somebody that has the kind of speed that Nick Turner does, you might want to know where he's at all times. 3-receiver set, 2 stacked to the right. Williams gets the handoff. He's through the line of scrimmage, and the pile's going to get pushed toward the goal line, and it's in for the Mount Union touchdown. Darrell Williams gets it across the goal line for 6. So it took Mount Union 1 extra play, but they still got the end result of taking an early lead.
Just simple run right up the middle, and Mount Union was able to get that good enough push right up front, opened up a couple holes, and he was met right at the line, the goal line, but was able to muscle through it.
Yvonne Merrick on to attempt the extra point. The snap is back, the ball is down, the kick is on the way, and the kick is good. Mount Union 7, Baldwin Wallace nothing. 8:55 left to go in the first quarter. We're going to step aside for a break. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff in Baldwin Wallace's second possession of the afternoon from Tressel Field. On the other side of this break, you're watching the Flow College Division III Game of the Week. Hello, everyone, and welcome back inside Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. The Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jacket football team playing host to the number 2 team in the country, the Mount Union Purple Raiders. Mount Union leads Baldwin Wallace 7-0 with 8:55 left to go here in the first quarter of play, after a nice touchdown drive that was capped off by Darrell Williams' 6-yard touchdown run for the Purple Raiders. The big play, a 16-yard gain to get the ball into Yellow Jacket territory, and then a nice long catch by Nick Turner to help set up a 1st and goal play. Rafferty has it teed up with the right foot. He sends it down the field. It will be caught inside the 2-yard line. And on the return, it's Tavion Greaves, and he gets the ball across the 20, scoots out of the first tackle attempt, but he is wrapped up and dropped right at the 20-yard line, where the Yellow Jackets will have it 1st and 10.
Yeah, tried to spin out of that one tackle, but then was still met by a wave of Purple Raiders waiting for him.
So we will see what the offense can do on its second possession of the day. Baldwin Wallace went for it in Mount Union territory and turned it over on downs on possession number 1. 2 backs in the backfield with Charlie Bubonics, 1 on either side. 3 receivers on the field, 2 out left. and it'll be Gardner out by himself on the right. Motion man out of the backfield. It's thrown over the middle to Conwell. He's across the 25 out to the 28-yard line. So gain of 8 on first down for the Yellow Jackets. Just a simple slant route, and Conwell found a soft spot in the defense.
Absolutely. Great start to first down. You now make it second and short. You just want to keep the ball. You want to keep on grinding. You want to keep on. You don't want Mount Union to have the ball, so you got to make these type of plays on first down.
Balson out as the wide receiver on the left side. 2 receivers bunched to the right. Lindberger takes the carry from Bubonics, gets it to first down yardage out to the 35, call it the 37, and actually that was Boston Molinax who got the carry for the Yellow Jackets. So a nice gain on the play of 9 yards to give the Yellow Jackets a 1st and 10.
Yeah, you got that first down, was hit, and then the offensive line and him just kept their legs moving. Was able to push for another 3-4 yards out of that. Able to fall forward.
Bolson out left. It'll be Conwell in the slot on the right side with Gardner out wide. Speedy, the tight end, switches from the right side to the left side. Lindberger in the backfield. They'll motion Bolson in tight to the line. Bubonics looks left, steps up, out of the pressure from Mount Union, throws it deep down the field, has Bolson, and on the close to break it up for Mount Union, Costa Tharasvulu. That is a great close from a defensive back. That ball seemed to hang up for Bolson, and there's nothing he could do to try and bring that down any more than what he did.
Yeah, he just had to wait for it, and the ball was so in the air so long, he was able to make that close, and I think he might have gotten maybe a shot there a little bit early, but they're letting him play so far, not calling anything yet.
So 2nd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Speedy motion right to left. There's a wing on the left side now. Bubonics hands it off inside. It's Lindberger. He's across the 45, 1st down yardage. Gets into Mount Union territory, down to the 49. That's a George Lindberger run right there. 14 yards for the Baldwin Wallace 1st down.
Nice little draw play right up the middle. Caught Mount Union napping, and he was able to get a huge gain out of that, and then looked like Larry Zonka there running, covering the points, just not stopping, looking like a bowling ball.
I love the reference. I'm not sure any of these guys know who Larry Zonka is.
That's a very good point. Mike Allstott.
That might even be too old for him. 3 receivers set for Baldwin Wallace and a wing on the right side with Lindberger in the backfield. Bubonics hands off to Lindberger. He's across the 45, pushes the pile all the way down to the 42. Called another gain of 7 for George Lindberger. And this offensive line has come into play against this Mountain Union defensive front. And not always an easy thing to do, but the Yellow Jackets doing pretty well with it so far.
No, they're up to the task, and so far they're making some good running lanes. They're opening up some holes, and they're not allowing Mount Union, their defensive line, to dictate anything. They're taking it right to them, and hopefully that goes through the rest of this drive.
So 2nd and 3 now after the gain of 7 on 1st down. 2 receivers go out left. That's Greaves out the widest, Conwell in the slot, Speedy being a wing on the left side, and Gardner out right. Fake the handoff to Lindberger. Bubonics on the rollout over the head of Gardner, out of bounds. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3 for the Yellow Jackets. I don't mind the play. You have some heavy rush coming your way. You throw it down the field, see if your guy can make a play, but overall put it in only a spot where he can get it.
Yeah, you had a second 3. You're trying to see if you can get the top off the defense. They had they came out in a little bit of a rush, so yeah, you throw it up there, see if your player can get it, but you don't make it so that Mount Union can go get it.
Another 3 receiver set. Speedy will switch to the right side. He's a wing on the right side. Lindberger the back in the backfield. 3rd and 3. Bubonics hands off to Lindberger. He has the 1st down and much more. Gets dropped inside the 33-yard line. Call it the 32. He got hit right on the hip. And that does not feel good, but he still fell forward for another 3 yards. So another positive run for George Lindberger.
Yeah, got hit right at the 35, was able to fall forward and get 4 more yards out of that.
George Lindberger, when I talked to him a couple of weeks ago, described his running style with power with a little bit of finesse. We saw the power, and we saw the gracefulness to keep your balance, too. So Boston Molinax will check in. Lindberger will check out. Speedy will be a wing on the right side. Now 3 receivers set for Baldwin Wallace. And the handoff will go into Boston Molinax. He's across the 30 and pushes the pile to the 28-yard line. So Boston Molinax will gain 4 yards on 1st down to set up a 2nd and 6.
So far, that running game right up the middle is giving positive dividends, and you keep on going to the well. Make them stop you for that.
It's not always been the case against Mount Union when it comes to running the football. Between the tackles, typically the hardest part to run against the Mount Union defense. But Baldwin Wallace having some early success. Not that can't change with adjustments made, but overall, right now, they're taking what the defense is giving them. 3 receivers in the formation, 2 out left. The handoff goes inside to Molinax. He'll lower the shoulder, get across the 25 down to the 24-yard line, and that'll be another gain of 4 to set up a 3rd and 2 for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Deep in the heart of Mount Union territory. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. And Baldwin Wallace marching down the field very steadily.
Didn't look like he had a whole lot of room. Looked like that the defensive line pushed a little bit back, but he was able to squeeze through and was able to get positive yards and make it a 3rd and short.
Checking in at the wide receiver position is Cade St. Clair. He'll be the man in one-on-one coverage on the right side of the formation for the Yellow Jackets. The handoff goes to Lindbergher. He's across the 20, tripped up at the 15. He was gone to daylight if he wasn't tripped up. He had nobody between him and the goal line.
And he knew it, too. And as soon as he stood up, he started stomping his feet. He knew if he would have gotten through that ankle tackle, he was straight home to daylight.
So the Yellow Jackets go back to the well with Lindbergher, and he's going to be met and dropped 1 yard past the line of scrimmage. There was a man who was trying to get off the field for Mount Union. I don't know that he quite made it. The back judge threw the flag.
Yeah, the whole Baldwin Wallace coaching staff screaming on the sideline.
Yeah, and in the booth, too. We're
Yeah.
right next to the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jacket booth, and I like to keep the windows open on a beautiful fall day. We don't often get that, but maybe I need to close them down. Illegal substitution is the call on the Mount Union Purple Raiders. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. The Yellow Jackets will now have a 1st and 5 from the 10-yard line.
You got to take all you can get from Mount Union. If they're going to gift you a penalty like that, you got to take it.
Mount Union does not make mistakes like that very often, to your point, Brian.
No, they do not. You got to take advantage of it now.
3 receivers out right, 1 out left. Lindbergher in the backfield, and one of the Yellow Jackets just gave that free 5 yards right back to the Purple Raiders. Left tackle Alex Smith got a little bit of a head start on the play, and that kind of changes the equation a little bit there. Now it's back to a 1st and 10 from the 15.
Got a little overzealous there. He wanted to do some mauling, but ball didn't move yet.
No, it did not, and that will cost the Yellow Jackets 5 yards. So it'll be a 4-receiver set for BW, a triangle formation on the right side and 1 out left. Bubonic's looking left the whole way. It's Balson, and he catches it in the end zone for a Yellow Jacket touchdown, but the officials waves it off at the last minute. Oh, goodness. A missed opportunity on the fade route. It was there all the way, and Balson apparently couldn't hang on to it and stay in bounds.
He adjusted to do it in the air, and he had it in the air, but as soon as he hit the ground, it looked like it sputtered out, and he wasn't able to hold on to it. Great play, though. He made a great opportunity to catch that ball. He just couldn't maintain the catch.
2nd and 10 for Baldwin Wallace from the Mount Union 15. 2 receivers will switch from the right side to the left side. That's Quinlan and Conwell. Handoff goes inside of Lindbergher. He's across the 10, 5, extends it across the goal line, and he's in for the Yellow Jacket touchdown. But we have some laundry on the field in the backfield at the 17. Oh, goodness. Take the touchdown off the board for an illegal shift, and Baldwin Wallace moving the wrong way over the last couple of plays here, and this is not what you want to be doing against Mount Union.
I mean, Mount Union's already tough enough. You can't be shooting yourselves in the foot every time and try to expect to beat them. This is not...
You have to beat them. You can't beat yourself. And Baldwin Wallace making a couple of penalties on this drive, now face a 2nd and 15 from the Mount Union 20. 4 receivers in the formation. Conwell goes around the backside of it. They'll hand off to Molinax. He looks for a hole, gets outside, gets to the 17 before he's knocked out of bounds. So a gain of 3 on 2nd and 15. So that'll be now a 12 yards left to go for Baldwin Wallace to get a new set of downs, and it'll be third down and long against Mount Union. Under 3 minutes left in this first quarter of play.
Might be one of those opportunities where you see how much you can get on this third down, see if you can go for it on fourth rather than try to kick a field goal. You can't kick field goals against Mount Union and expect to win when they're scoring touchdowns.
So Bolson will go in motion left to right, and he'll slide to his left once more. Bubonics takes the low snap. He scrambles out to the right, throws it for the end zone, and it's broken up at the goal line. What a great play from safety Jerry Cooper, the Fort Myers, Florida native, jumping the route. Gardner was open for a second, but man, these Mount Union defensive backs can close quickly.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, he was open for just a minute and then, closed on him real quick and was able to knock that ball loose as soon as it hit him.
Robert Feemster Jr. on to attempt the field goal for Baldwin Wallace. It'll be spotted at the 24. It'll be a 34-yard kick. The southpaw kicker puts his left foot into it and sends it through the uprights to put Baldwin Wallace on the board. They cut the deficit down to 4 points. It's Mount Union 7, Baldwin Wallace 3 with 2:23 left to play in the first quarter. We're going to step aside for a break. When we come back, we'll have more first quarter action for you on this Flow College Division III Game of the Week from Baldwin Wallace. Welcome back into Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. It's NCAA Division III football action today as the number 2 ranked Mount Union Purple Raiders traveled to Berea to face the host Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets in the Flow College Division III Game of the Week. And the Yellow Jackets trail after kicking a field goal. They are down by 4. Mount Union leads at 7-3 with 2:23 left in the first quarter. Robert Feemster Jr. has it teed up for the Yellow Jackets. He'll send a sidewinding kick toward the sideline, and it will go out of bounds. Illegal procedure will give Mount Union good field position.
It looked like a knuckleball right off his foot, and it was going straight out of bounds right away. The returner wasn't even going to touch it. He was going to just let it do its own thing.
It's one of those where if it stays in bounds, how that happened, who knows, but you have to hustle up on it and get to it quickly. But fortunately for Mount Union, it carried out of bounds. So that'll give the Purple Raiders a 1st and 10 from their own 35.
Let's see if Baldwin Wallace can get a little bit of pass rush here on Maloney. He's a freshman. Let's see if you get to him early, see if you can rattle him a little bit.
Turner will go in motion right to left. He'll go back behind the quarterback. Maloney takes a snap. It's a flare out to Turner. He catches it at the 30. He's across the 40, across the 45, and gets shouldered out of bounds by Malik Duffy right at the midfield stripe. 15 yards the easy way for the Mount Union Purple Raiders.
Nice little flare out to the right. Just took the snap, threw the ball, and just let him do his own thing, run down the sideline.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Purple Raiders at midfield. And once again, Nick Turner comes up with a big gainer for the Yellow Jackets, or for the Purple Raiders against the Yellow Jackets, I should say. Now it's a 4-receiver set. Handoff goes inside, and the ball carrier is met and dropped in the backfield. That's Sean Thomas on the carry, the Lima, Ohio native. He was wrapped up on the play by Hasim Rashid and Nolan Hartzell. Yeah. Loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, it looked like Baldwin Wallace was able to get that the run stop right up front. Mount Union didn't have anywhere to go, and they wrapped him up right at the line of scrimmage. Was able to get him down a yard behind.
2nd and 11 for the Purple Raiders from their own 49-yard line. Maloney in the shotgun formation. He'll send Turner in motion right to left. Maloney looking for Turner the whole way, throws it over Turner and throws it over the head of Davion Grant as well, who is running a deep out, and it's incomplete into the Yellow Jacket bench. 3rd and long now for the Purple Raiders.
Good thing he put a little too much mustard on that. He had the space to be open. He just sailed it right over his head to benefit Baldwin Wallace. Make this a 3rd and long.
Purple Raiders will motion Grant out left. It'll be a short pass right. It's complete to Thomas, and he's short of the first down. He'll be spotted out at the 43-yard line. So a gain of 8 brings up a 4th and 3 for the Purple Raiders at the Baldwin Wallace 43.
I don't even think Mount Union has a punt team. I think
they list a punter. He's from Sandusky, Ohio. That's Mike Franklin. He's a 6-foot, 180-pound senior, but he's going to stay on the sidelines as the offense will try and convert on 4th and 3. Thomas will motion behind Maloney. The fake the handoff inside. That's first down yardage and more for the Purple Raiders as tight end Matt Anderson, the Scottsdale, Arizona native, catching a simple out route and moving the ball down the field for a gain of 6 to the Yellow Jacket 37. Called a gain of 7 to the 36.
I like those little run option passes right on 3rd and short, 4th and short. Get some misdirection going. It's almost like a glorified run.
Like an extended handoff. Timeout for the end of the first quarter of play. After one, the Mount Union Purple Raiders lead the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets 7-3, and Mount Union is driving in Yellow Jacket territory. When we come back, we'll have the rest of this drive on the Flow College Division III game of the week between the visiting Mount Union Purple Raiders and host Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. It's NCAA Division III football action on the field this afternoon as Baldwin Wallace plays host to the number 2 team in the country, the Mount Union Purple Raiders. And after one quarter of play, it's Mount Union 7, Baldwin Wallace 3, with Mount Union having a 1st and 10 at the Baldwin Wallace 37-yard line.
And despite Baldwin Wallace down right now, on some self-inflicted wounds, you're keeping the ball to yourself. You're making long drives. You want to keep the ball out of Mount Union's hands. So this is Mount Union's only second possession. It's already the second quarter.
That's the way to do it against a team that is as potent as Mount Union. But you have to put up points on the Yellow Jacket side of things, too, because if you shorten up the game too much, then you limit your own possessions. Maloney in the shotgun. He takes a snap. He's looking left the whole way. Throws an out route for Turner, and it's just out of the reach of the Strongsville, Ohio native.
Great protection for Mount Union. He had plenty of time. It was a little long developing pass route, but just right out of his reach of his hands.
That's a tough ask of the wide receiver to try and run that route. And the 5'8", 170-pound senior could not haul it in. 3 receiver set. Now a tight end moves to the left side of the formation. Maloney swings it out to Turner, and again, just a little bit too long out of Turner's reach. This doesn't seem like the Purple Raiders are in sync after the quarter break.
No, it looked like the same kind of pass play they've been running. He just sold it out a little too far, right out of his reach, and he wasn't able to get it. So now you got another 3rd and long. Hopefully, Baldwin Wallace can keep it to 4th and long, so you'd have to make Mount Union punt rather than make it 4th and short and they try to go for it again.
3rd and 10 from the 37-yard line for the Purple Raiders. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right, and Thomas in the backfield with Maloney. Maloney takes the snap. He's looking right the whole way. Now looks back left. He's flushed out of the pocket, gets away from the rush from Hasim Rashid. Now he's getting out wide, and he's going to have first down yardage and more. The Yellow Jackets missing a golden opportunity to get to the freshman quarterback before he can scramble for the first.
Yeah, Rashid almost had him in the backfield, but he was going to spin out of it. Looked like he was starting to stumble. He was able to keep his feet again. Was able to get past that first down marker and get a new fresh set of downs.
So a gain of 10 to the 27-yard line for the Purple Raiders. It'll be 1st and 10, Mount Union inside Yellow Jacket territory. Maloney takes the snap. He's looking right. Throws it short. It's caught. And that's Jacob Cockrell who will haul it in inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Gain of 14, and it's another Mount Union first down.
Nice little in route and found that soft spot in the zone for the Baldwin Wallace defense. He was hit right away. Hopefully, you tried to hit him just so that ball got jarred loose, but he was able to hold on to the ball.
Two receivers on the field for Mount Union, two backs in the backfield. And now they'll split out the tight end. Maloney fakes the handoff, and now he'll rush it up the middle. He gets away from a little bit of pressure, but he's tripped up by Dom Tromba inside the 15-yard line. They'll get the ball to the 13-yard line, and it will be another Purple Raider first down.
Was able to collapse the pocket on him, but he was able to step up in front and was able to scramble for that.
Yeah, Maloney's shown some ability to scramble with the football, too. He's not just a pure passer. Maloney takes a snap, hands off to Thomas, or fakes the handoff, or rather flares it out to the tight end. That's Anderson on the reception, but he is cut down pretty quickly by defensive back TJ Hansel, who came up and got the stop. And that's a tough stop to make in one-on-one coverage with wide open green in front of and behind you for Hansel. So good job out of him to get to Anderson.
Yeah, that was a great open field tackle, because if he would have got broken out of that tackle, that would have been another touchdown. That was a great tackle in the open field right there.
So there was a penalty flag thrown. It was an ineligible man downfield. So that'll back up the Purple Raiders. And after the ball is respotted, it'll be Mount Union having the ball at the Yellow Jacket 18-yard line facing a 1st and 15.
Get all that praise for a great open field tackle. Now it doesn't even count.
Yeah, I know. But it still looked nice on film. Need a few more of those open field tackles.
Yeah.
Throughout the day. So hopefully Hansel will be able to make those. Hopefully he won't have to, actually. Hopefully he'll make them a little closer to the line of scrimmage. But, hey, make them when they're in front of you. Maloney takes the snap. He'll fake the handoff. He'll keep it himself. He's around left end, and he's going to be bottled up and taken down by the Baldwin Wallace defense. Good pursuit by Hasim Rashid, and also had some help from linebacker Devontae Jackson.
Yeah, it looked like it was just a fake handle. Just kept the ball and tried to get positive yardage, but then was met by a wall of Yellow Jackets. Make it a 2nd and long, 2nd and 11.
So gain of 4 on the play to bring up a 2nd and 11 from the Yellow Jacket 14-yard line. Under 11 and a half minutes left to go before the intermission. Baldwin Wallace trails Mount Union 7-3. Mount Union driving, looking to add on to that 4-point lead. Maloney takes the snap. He's looking right the whole way. He muscles it to the end zone, and it's going to be caught short of the goal line. As coming back to make the reception was Jacob Cockrell, and that'll set up a 1st and goal from the 2. That was a heck of a grab.
Yeah, great pass protection there. He had plenty of time to make that throw, and then, went up to grab it Was hit right as he caught it, was able to hang on, and now they're inside the 5.
And the push of the pile goes backward for Mount Union as Sean Thomas is stopped for lost yardage on the play. They're going to march him back to the 3-yard line, so a loss of 1 on the play. Brings up a 2nd and goal for Mount Union.
Yeah, I think Mount just tried to push their way into the end zone, and Baldwin Wallace wasn't having any of it and was able to push them back.
So 2nd and goal now. Thomas will go behind Maloney. Maloney takes a snap, hands off to Thomas. He's going to push ahead, and he's going to push his way across the goal line for a Mount Union Purple Raider touchdown.
Yep, they went to the well again. That worked out for him. They spread out the defensive line. He was able to get in. Got hit right at the
probably at the 2, and he was able to power through it. It was good initial hit by the Jackets, but they weren't able to wrap him up as he had a full head of steam. So now Merrick will be on to attempt the extra point, and Mike Franklin, the punter, will be the holder. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is on the way, and the kick is going to make its way to South Campus here in just a few seconds, as that was plenty of distance on it. Beautiful kick from Merrick, and that will put the Mount Union Purple Raiders in front of the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets by a 14-3 count with 10:06 left to go in the second quarter. We're going to step aside for a brief break. When we come back, more second quarter action in this Flow College Division III game of the week. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Matt Florjancic and Brian Verkan on the call of today's Flow College Division III game of the week between the number 2 ranked team in the country, the visiting Mount Union Purple Raiders, and the host Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. 10:06 left to go here in the second quarter of play. Mount Union leads Baldwin Wallace by a 14-3 count. On to kick it away for the Purple Raiders is Connell Rafferty, back deep to return for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, Tavion Greaves and Dirk Hutchinson. Rafferty's kickoff will be fielded by Greaves right at the goal line. He's running up the right side of the field, the hash marks. Now jitterbugs his way across the 30 out to the 35, and another explosive return for Greaves, getting the ball past the 35-yard line. The Yellow Jackets need to start taking advantage of that field position, and he's giving them on special teams.
Yeah, he's got 2 great returns so far today and giving them great field position. Now you just got to take advantage of it. This is a big series for the offense. You can't play from behind against Mount Union all the time. You got to make a touchdown in this drive. You got to keep it close.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from the 36-yard line, their own 36-yard line. 3 receivers out right, 1 back in the backfield. Bubonics takes a snap. He hands off to Lindberger. Lindberger's met at the line of scrimmage, and he may get to the 37, but he's not getting any further than that. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Yellow Jackets.
That right side of the line didn't get any push, and then as soon as they got the handoff, he was met by a couple Purple Raiders. He's lucky he was able to get a yard out of that one.
So 2nd and 9 for the Yellow Jackets. Similar formation. Now they'll call for a switch. They'll bring Greaves out to the left side of the formation, and Speedy will be the wing on the right. Bubonics takes the snap, looking for Greaves the whole way, has his man, and Greaves is up near the first down marker. And he's going to have just enough. He needed the 46. He got to the 46 with the out route.
Yep, caught it right there, and he went out of bounds right there, and they're saying that's enough for a first down, get a fresh set of chains.
So Gardner and Conwell will go out wide right. Gardner will be on the numbers. Conwell will be in the slot on the hash mark. and Greaves will be out left, and Speedy will now be the wing on the left side after motioning from the right. Lindberger the back in the backfield. He'll take the handoff, and he'll run straight forward, and he is going to be met at the line of scrimmage, and he is not going anywhere. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets.
We were talking about how that middle of the defensive line was open on that previous drive. Now they shut that door real quick.
Yeah, it's not open right now. Well, whether the Yellow Jackets can kick it off the hinges, we'll see. But on the first 2 inside runs of this drive, it's been tough sledding for George Lindberger. 2nd and 10 for Baldwin Wallace from its own 46-yard line. Speedy, the wing on the left side. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Fakes the handoff inside. Bubonics rolling to his right. He throws on the run, and he had Conwell in not too much space, but he had a nice window, but he overshot it on the run, so that'll bring up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was just great coverage by Mount. They really didn't have anywhere else to throw that ball. He was hoping he can squeeze it into a window, but just a little bit out of the grasp.
So 3rd and 10 for Baldwin Wallace from its own 46-yard line. The 3rd down pass defense coming on for the Purple Raiders. As we saw about 4 substitutions there. And now it's a 4-receiver set, 2 out left, 2 out right for the Yellow Jackets. That'll be Harley Barman, who will go in motion out right now. Bubonic stands in the pocket, looks down the field for Conwell. He has it at the 25, and it's 1st down, Yellow Jackets.
Great play call. Bubonics had a man in his face as soon as he let that ball go. And that was another tight window that he was able to drop that ball in. Great play, great catch.
Good inside position from Conwell, too, to give him a target. Bubonics rolls out to his right, throws it for the end zone, and there's going to be a pass interference as one of the linebackers ran over Conwell. Not necessarily a catchable ball, but you can't run through a guy.
Yeah, he just ran right through him like he wasn't even there. And now looks like the refs are going to discuss it.
The umpire, the referee, and the man who threw the flag are having a discussion. Nobody ever likes that.
No.
But the referee will make the call now. So we're going to get a replay of 1st down as the Yellow Jackets were guilty of an ineligible man downfield, and Mount Union was flagged for pass interference. So Mount Union appeared to give the Yellow Jackets a gift, and Baldwin Wallace said, "No, we're good. We'll just clear the decks and restart." At 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line of Mount Union. Speedy will be a wing on the right side. 3-receiver set for Baldwin Wallace. Fake to Boston Molinax. It'll be flared out by Bubonics, intended for Tim Conwell, and it was just a little bit too far out of his grasp.
Yeah, a little too much mustard on that one. Really didn't have an opportunity to catch that ball. But you can't keep on shooting yourself in the foot. Mount Union is giving you the opportunity, and you can't be giving them the opportunity right back.
2nd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets from the Mount Union 21-yard line. Mount Union leads at 14-3 with 7:32 left to go here in the first half. Molinax will flex out to the right of Bubonics. Speedy will be the wing on the left side. Fake the handoff inside. Bubonics rolls out to his right, throws it short to Speedy, and it's incomplete. Not a bad decision by Bubonics, who was facing a heavy rush as he was rolling out to his right. And he just picked the guy that he could get the ball to and put it where maybe his guy could get it, but he knew a defender could not.
Yeah, Mount Union, they got a great rush right in his face and well covered in the defensive backfield, so you throw it right at your offensive player's legs. Hopefully you can reach down and grab it, but make sure that Mount Union doesn't then try to pick that off.
So
That's all you can do.
3rd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. 3 receivers, triangle formation out right. Bubonics takes the snap, plenty of time, throws it over the middle. It's caught by Bolson. He steps out of a tackle. He'll have 1st down yardage and more as he gets the ball inside the 10, and he's driven out of bounds right at the 10-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal for Baldwin Wallace.
Great second effort there by Xavier. That would have been short. It would have been about 4th and 30. but he was able to spin out of that tackle and was able to get that first down and give them a first down inside that looks like just about at the 10-yard line now.
So Conwell, Barman, and Gardner will stack up outright. Bolson will be in one-on-one coverage on the left. Molnax, the back in the backfield. It's a flare out to Gardner. He catches it in the backfield. Jitterbugs to the 5. It gets absolutely smoked at the 1, and he is down short of the goal line. He got absolutely crushed by the guy who's labeled as the bandit defender in this unique formation for Mount Union, senior Caleb Brown. And now Brown is being attended to on the far sideline. So we're going to step aside for a break. When we come back, more second quarter action between Baldwin Wallace and Mount Union. You're watching the Flow College Division III Game of the Week. Welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Always a good sign to see as Caleb Brown is helped to his feet, and he'll walk to the sideline under his own power for Mount Union. And it'll be a second and goal situation for the Yellow Jackets from inside the 1-yard line as Gardner caught it at the 12. The original line of scrimmage was the 10, and he was able to hustle his way down to the 1 before he was stopped by Caleb Brown. Bubonics in the shotgun. Lindberger in the backfield. Lindberger will get the ball, and he's into the end zone for a Yellow Jacket touchdown. Baldwin Wallace chips away at the deficit as they get their first touchdown of the day.
That's the type of drive you needed right there. You had Mount go up 14-3. You can't bring field goals to a touchdown fight. But luckily, Baldwin Wallace was able to march down the field, get some great plays, punch it in right from the 1.
Feemster Jr. on to attempt the extra point. Jaden Roman on the hold. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Baldwin Wallace trails it by 4. Mount Union 14. Baldwin Wallace 10. 6:32 left to go before halftime. We're going to step aside for a break. When we come back, more second quarter action on the Flow College Division III Game of the Week. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. It's the Flow College Division III Game of the Week between the host Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and the visiting number 2 team in the country, the University of Mount Union Purple Raiders. 6:32 left to go here in the second quarter of play. It's Mount Union 14, Baldwin Wallace 10. Baldwin Wallace with a nice touchdown drive before the break. George Lindbergh capped it off with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now we'll see what the special teams and the defense can do for the Yellow Jackets. Feemster on to kick it away for Baldwin Wallace, hugging that sideline again. This time it's fielded at the 5. It'll be returned up the numbers before the return man, that's Darrell Williams on the run back, gets stopped at the 25. Darnell Williams on the return for Mount Union.
So this is opportunity for the defense to make a good stand. This is kind of like that no man's land. You got 6.5 left here in the second quarter. You don't want to give Mount the ball the entire time because then they're going to get the ball right at the start of the second half.
Yeah, they have a chance at a double dip if you're not careful.
Yeah, you don't want to get into that opportunity because then you might not be able to overcome that.
So 1st and 10, Purple Raiders, ball at their own 25-yard line. 1 receiver out left, 1 out right. 2 backs in the backfield. And a tight end will be a wing on the left side when they settle over the football. Tight end motions to the right side. The fake handoff out left. It goes inside to Williams. He gets to the 29, and he will get no further as he's stopped after the 4-yard gain.
Little misdirection play there. Little handoff to the right, and then just a handoff back inside to the left. He's able to fall forward, get 4 yards.
So Williams will check out. Nick Turner will come back in. Sean Thomas will stay on as the running back in the formation for the Purple Raiders. Two receivers out left, two receivers out right, one out left. Tight ends on the right side. Maloney takes a snap, fakes the pitch, steps up in the pocket, throws it over the middle, has Turner. He's at the 47. When he catches the ball, he's in the Yellow Jacket territory. He's stripped of the football, but it was out of bounds. So another big gainer for Nick Turner.
Yeah, fake little sweep to the right and got great pass protection. Was able to see his receiver wide open, and nice hit right there at the end. The ball popped out, but unfortunately it went out of bounds rather than back into the field of play.
26 yards on the reception for Nick Turner. And he'll be alone as the wide receiver on the right side of the formation, two out left. Now Turner goes in motion right to left. He'll be in a slot on the left side. Handoff to Thomas, and he is wrapped up and dropped in the backfield. Coming up to make the stop for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, number 51, Steph Davis from the defensive line spot.
Steph Davis almost took that handoff himself. He
Call it a loss of 5 on the play, I should say. That's a big-time play made by the backup lineman.
Yeah, he was in the backfield even before the ball got to the running back. He did. He almost took that handoff right from Maloney himself.
And if you're the running back, the first thing you're thinking is, oh, no, this isn't going well. Turner will go in motion left to right. Now in motion back left. Maloney takes the snap. He's looking left the whole way. Slings it out wide. It's complete to Grant. And he loses the football but falls right back on top of it inside the 40-yard line. That's a fortuitous bounce for the Mount Union Purple Raiders.
Yeah, tried to spin out of that tackle, tried to get more yardage, but then lost the ball. But fortunately for him, it fell straight down. He just dropped right on it.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 5 from the Baldwin Wallace 40-yard line. Mount Union needs the 35. This will be another good time if you're a Yellow Jacket fan to see a Steph Davis-like play where he's almost taking the handoff. 4 receivers set, 3 out right, 1 out left. Maloney takes a snap. He's looking right, finds Turner, and it's caught, but he is dropped right at the point of the reception by Devontae Jackson. Gave a good shoulder tackle and put Turner down to the turf.
I don't know how Turner caught that ball. He wasn't looking for it, and he moved his head, and the ball was in his face, and was still able to get his hands up and catch the ball while simultaneously getting hit. That was a hell of a catch.
That's what makes him an All-Ohio Athletic Conference wide receiver right there. Those kind of plays. 4th down and 1 for the Purple Raiders. Motion man left to right, handoff to Williams. He's wrapped up, and he's going to be stopped short of the line to gain. Baldwin Wallace gets the turnover on downs.
Great defensive stand right there. They tried to just quick right up the middle, and they didn't get anything. They ran into a wall, and Baldwin Wallace's defensive line just pushed them all the way back. Great fourth
and short
stand.
play, yeah, absolutely. Hasim Rashid in on the stop. He came off the field. He was getting celebrated by his teammates, and then he gestured to the crowd to say, hey, stand up, let's go, let's get loud. And they responded in kind to have the Baldwin Wallace faithful. 1st and 10 Yellow Jackets at their own 36-yard line. 3:02 left to go in the first half. Lindberger takes the handoff. He's across the 40 to the 45, gets first down yardage and more as he pushes the ball out to midfield. Gain of 14 on the play for a Yellow Jacket first down.
Great inside handoff again, right up the middle. And there was no defender there. Was able to get that huge gain right on first down.
And they'll go back to the well again as Lindberger pops it loose left side. This time he's to the 40, 35, wraps up the ball across the 30 to the 25. George Lindberger is a man on a mission right now for the Yellow Jackets.
He was carrying 3 guys about 10 yards. He got hit about the 31-yard line, and they brought him down at about the looked like it was at the 21. Looks like it's at the 23. Great play again.
27 on the carry. Now they'll go back to Molinex. He's across the 20 and to the 18, maybe the 17, all the way down to the 16. And the Yellow Jackets responding right after that turnover on downs with 3 big-time rushes.
I think this offensive line is getting a little happy. They're
2-minute timeout. And the Yellow Jackets are exploding off the sidelines, trying to pump up the defense. To your point, Brian, I want to get back to it. Those are nice runs, and there's a lot of downfield movement by the running backs. That does not happen if those 5 up front aren't doing their job.
No, they're making these gigantic holes, and then they're allowing them to get into the second level, making additional blocks, and then you got your running backs they're not easy to take down. It takes a team to bring them down. And so they're firing on all cylinders, just running the ball right up the middle, getting 15, 20, 25, like great yardages on first down. Now we got a second and looks like 3.
Let's shout out those linemen up front. Left tackle, Alex Smith. Left guard, Nick Lulo. Center, Colton Ross. Right guard, Graham Dixon. And right tackle, Sam Jackson. Usually only call an offensive lineman's name when something goes awry, but we're going to give those guys some love and respect on this drive. It's been a good one so far. Let's see if they can punch it in for 6. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Bolson in one-on-one coverage on the left. Conwell, the receiver, in the slot on the right. Lindberger in the backfield. Bubonics gets the snap. He'll hand off to Lindberger. Lindberger gets it to the 10, and that's another Yellow Jacket first down, and it'll be 1st and goal for Baldwin Wallace.
Like we were talking about, he's not going to go down on the first hit. So as soon as you hit him, he's still going to get good 2, 3, 4 yards out of second contact.
Bubonics hands off to Lindberger, and he's stopped after the gain of about a half a yard. Inside the 10-yard line now, and it'll be 2nd and goal for the Yellow Jackets. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. Nobody seems in a hurry to use them right now. 90 seconds left on a running first half clock. Conwell and Gardner go out right. Bolson, one-on-one coverage on the left. Handoff, fake to Molinax. Bubonics rolls to his left. He throws it for Speedy, who cannot snare it, and I don't know they would have gained much in the way of yardage anyway had he caught it. So that'll bring up a 3rd and goal from the 10.
Yeah, got him in the hand. He wasn't able to bring it into his body to corral it. So now you got a 3rd and goal from the 10.
Harley Barman will check in for the Yellow Jackets at wide receiver. He'll go in the slot on the right side. Gardner goes out to the numbers on the right side. Bolson and Conwell stack on the left. Now Bolson will motion to the right side. Bubonics takes a snap. Throws it to Conwell. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Baldwin Wallace takes the lead over Mount Union with 1:13 left to go here in the first half. Robert Feemster Jr. on to attempt the extra point for Baldwin Wallace.
You had that's how you wanted for that. You stop them on 4th down, you run right down the field, and you get that touchdown.
Snap is back, ball is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. Baldwin Wallace 17, Mount Union 14 with 1:13 left to go before the halftime break. Well, we have this opportunity. I want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket football game is being brought to you by University Hospital's Straczynski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. The Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event. Papa John's in Berea, the official pizza sponsor and provider of Baldwin Wallace University. City Barbecue, serving and creating happiness since 1999. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. And Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. You're enjoying today's Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jacket football game against the University of Mount Union on Flow College, as it's Flow College's Division III game of the week. 1:13 left to go here in the first half. Baldwin Wallace 17, Mount Union 14. Robert Feemster Jr. has it teed up at the 35, getting set to send it away to the Purple Raiders. He puts the left foot into it, and it'll be Williams coming up and fielding at the 11. He's across the 20, gets spun by his own teammate, and he's wrapped up and taken down at around the 27-yard line, where Mount Union will have it 1st and 10. As I mentioned before the Yellow Jackets touchdown, both teams have all 3 timeouts left, so while there's only 1 minute and 7 seconds left in the first half. That could be a long 107.
And this is this stand for the defense. You don't want it. You want to keep everyone in front of you. Don't want anyone getting behind you. Just keep everyone in front. Don't try to be a hero. Just make sure you don't give Mount Union the opportunity to score quickly here.
You don't need to make the big play. You just need to make a play. 3 receiver set, 2 out right. It's a stack formation with Turner, the man in the front. Now they'll motion Grant to the left. Maloney takes the snap, fakes the handoff, swings it out to Anderson. Anderson with a modest gain before he is sent into the Mount Union bench by Devontae Jackson. That'll get the ball out to the 28-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play brings up a 2nd and 8 for Mount Union.
Maloney's great at that play action pass. He fooled at least 2 Yellow Jackets making that tackle on the running back and was able to just pop right out and throw that ball and be able to get positive yard out of it.
Very convincing with that run pass option for Mount Union. It'll be 3 receivers out right, 1 out left. Maloney takes the snap. He looks right and throws it out left. It's broken up on the play, as getting his hand in there at the last second was Colin Kaufman. That hit Jacob Cockrell in the hands as he high-pointed the ball, and that should have been a Mount Union first down.
He was able to break off the route. He was able to try to get his hands up to catch that ball, and it hit him, and he brought it down and just really spiked it into the ground. He never corralled it.
So 3rd down and 8 for Baldwin Wallace, or for Mount Union at the Mount Union 28-yard line, and a big defensive opportunity for Baldwin Wallace with 56 seconds left in the half.
Get a big stop here. It changes a lot of things.
Man goes in motion right to left. That's Nick Turner. Maloney flares it out to Thompson. He catches it before the 30, turns it up to the 35, and this is going to come down to the spot, whether or not this is a first down. And if the officials are to believe, yep, just enough for a first down.
I
credit the wide receiver for knowing where the sticks were to get out of bounds right at them and preserve the clock.
It also helped that the line judge got tangled up by the defense and was on the ground, so he really didn't see where the ball was, and looked like he was going by the other refs.
1st and 10, Purple Raiders from their own 36. Maloney takes a snap. He's looking right now, looks over the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for number 80, Mason Ashby. He was in coverage with Devontae Jackson. And the way Devontae Jackson's been playing so far today, you don't want to be a wide receiver catching that ball with your back to Jackson.
No, as soon as he got that ball, he was going to get hit. So probably benefit for him that he didn't catch that ball.
2nd and 10 for the Purple Raiders from their own 36. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. That's Turner in the slot. He'll motion out left now. Maloney looking for Turner the whole way. He catches it, and he is absolutely crushed on the play by Malik Duffy, the sophomore defender. Not afraid to lay the wood, and he just put Turner down to the turf after a very short gain.
That hurt me. He as soon as he spun around, he met him right into his chest and threw him backwards 2 yards.
Forward progress moved the ball out to the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 4. That's about as tough a 4-yard gain as you're going to see. Credit Nick Turner for popping up after the hit. It'll be a 3rd down and 6 for the Purple Raiders. They need the 46. The ball will be spotted at the 40. Timeout on the field by the Purple Raiders. That's their first timeout. We'll keep it here and kind of set the table for you. This is an opportunity for the Yellow Jacket defense to step up and get another stop if they can before the halftime and prevent Mount Union from trying to get back in the lead here.
You're looking for a loss. You're looking for a loss on the play. You're looking for an incomplete pass, because the way Mount is, if they're within 4th and 4, they're going for it. So you don't want to give them any more yardage to make that choice. You want them to go, all right, punt it with 30 seconds left.
4 receivers set, 3 bunched in a unique formation out left. Now the motion, Turner into the slot. Maloney looking out wide right, and it's going to be caught by Grant inside the 40-yard line. 2 Yellow Jackets were closing. Grant went up in the middle and caught it. That was a heck of a catch.
Yeah, he went to the highest point and got hit twice and fell like right on his side, was able to hold on to that ball.
1st and 10, Purple Raiders from the Baldwin Wallace 37. Maloney steps up, spins out of a tackle, gets down the field across the 30 to the 25, 20, 15, and he'll be wrapped up at the 10, and it'll be 1st and goal, Mount Union. Somebody might want to watch out for that guy.
Yeah, a lot of missed tackles on that scramble right there. He got hit at least 3-4 times, spun out of each one, and is now inside the 10-yard line.
13 seconds left in this first half, and the Purple Raiders will have a 1st and goal from the Baldwin Wallace 9. Just about 20 seconds ago, we were talking about a 3rd and 6 and a chance for the Yellow Jacket defense to get off the field. Then Grant comes up with a huge catch, and then Maloney out of nowhere does his best impersonation of, I don't know, pick a great NFL running quarterback. We'll say Lamar Jackson. I know I'm going to get grief for that because I'm in Berea and there's a team up the road that plays Lamar Jackson twice a year, but there's no way that should be a positive gain, much less a 30-yard run to get you into a 1st and goal.
No, those are the type of plays that get your defensive coordinators, your defensive coaches upset. Like you had them on the ropes, and in 2 big plays, they just moved 50 yards. Now have the opportunity to either tie the game or go ahead with 13 seconds left.
So 3 receivers set, 2 out right, 1 out left. Turner's in the slot. That's the guy you got to watch out for. He'll motion right to left. Handoff goes inside to Williams. He'll get it inside the 5, and he's down at the 3 with 8 seconds left. Mountain Union will call its 3rd and final timeout of the half. I had to pause there for a second because I thought they had used the other 2, but now we have further confirmation that was the 3rd timeout for the Purple Raiders, and there are 7 seconds left in the half. And now if you're Mount Union, the options are, they're still plentiful because you're very good at what you do, but you have to be very strategic about it. If it's a pass, it's got to be in the end zone, and it's got to be a quick route. You can't have anybody trying to dance around and stretch and get that extra yard. You need to get down and try to clock it if you can, because you do not have any more timeouts if you're the Purple Raiders, and everybody's being told that in that huddle right now. Hey, if you catch it and you're short, make sure you can either get out of bounds or get down quickly.
With this close, if you're Mount Union, you're sending everyone to the end zone and scrambling, trying to get someone open. But, yeah, you cannot be short. You got to go for a touchdown or nothing at all.
Motion man is Grant right to left. Fake the handoff, pop pass over the middle, and it's going to be caught, and it's a Purple Raider touchdown, says the back judge. I think the Yellow Jackets were kind of hoping that maybe the reception was bobbled, but not to be the case, as Wyatt Steele, the reserve tight end, catches the go-ahead score with 3 seconds left in the half.
I sold the defensive line on that play fake handoff, and then just a little pop pass to that looked like the tight end or the H-back.
Merrick on to attempt the extra point. The snap is back, the ball is down, the kick is on the way, and the kick is good. 21-17, Mount Union in front of Baldwin Wallace with 3 seconds left in the half. And Baldwin Wallace has played extremely well in the first half, but that's kind of a gut punch right there to give up with just 1:07 left when Mount Union took over possession offensively. Give up that a couple of big plays to help set them up for a touchdown. That's gonna really, pardon the pun, but that's gonna really sting in the halftime discussions.
Yeah, that is not how you want to end a half, especially now Mount's going to get the ball for the kickoff on the second half. So you had him backed up, you had him on 3rd and long, and yeah, 2 plays, 50 yards to get him inside the 10, and then you can't stop him on the goal line, and now you're just going to give the ball right back to him at the start of the second half. That is not – it's tough to beat Mount, but that is not the way – if you're Baldwin Wallace, you want to make that it's tough to overcome something like that.
It's not impossible, though. It can be done.
When you're playing well, yeah.
Yeah, you have to just come out and get a stop right out of the halftime break. But before we get there, we have a kickoff to attend to as Rafferty has it teed up at the 35. Greaves and Hutchinson are back deep to return for Baldwin Wallace. Just 3 seconds left to go in the first half. Rafferty puts the right foot into it, squibs it. It's picked up at the 22, and a jacket will take the knee to preserve 1 second left on the clock on the recovery. Josiah Sessler, one of the reserve running backs for the Yellow Jackets.
Smart play by Mount for squibbing that kick rather than kicking it deep and giving them a great opportunity to make run. He's been close to breaking a couple. You didn't want to give them that last opportunity right before the half.
It'll be spotted between the 22 and 23 yard lines, called the 23, and the Yellow Jackets will send what's typically called the victory formation onto the field, but it'll just be to expel the final second of the first half as Molnax and Lindberger, two of the safety valves around Bubonics, who takes a snap, takes the knee, and that is how the first half comes to a close. It's Mount Union 21, Baldwin Wallace 17. Mount Union heading to the locker room. Baldwin Wallace having a meeting at the 40-yard line with head coach Jim Hilvert, and that's going to be a one-way conversation, no doubt about that. I think the biggest message there, not trying to read too much into it, but I think the biggest message there is, hey, look at the scoreboard. We're right in this game, and there were some missed opportunities, or what they call MAs, missed assignments, and that's why Mount Union's winning on the scoreboard right now. But by and large, Baldwin Wallace played one heck of a first half, and now they're going to go into the halftime break and try to make some adjustments to get back on the right side of the score, as Mount Union will try and do the same thing with adjustments to try and build on what is a 4-point halftime lead at 21-17. We're going to step aside for a break. When we come back, the sounds of the Baldwin Wallace University marching Yellow Jackets will greet you with their halftime performance.
Good afternoon, BW fans. It's time to get up on your feet. Put your hands together for the best of West. The pride of the OAC, the band and the man. Fans from the top, your 2025 BW Marching Yellow Jackets. The Marching Band is proud to share with you some of our favorite tunes. Fans are opening the Hot Latin special. Hang on to your seats as the Marching Yellow Jackets bring this Latin fiesta to the field, playing La Zora. Don't sit down, we are just getting started. Get ready as the band turns up the fun with a legendary Earth, Wind, and Fire tune. Now keep your eyes on the BW Color Guard as they light up the field with dazzling visuals. BW enjoy in the stone. If you like that, you're gonna love this. Now get ready to be transported back in time to the 1960s, where every season has a meaning. Sit back, enjoy the BW Marching Yellow Jackets as they bring you Turn, Turn, Turn by the Birds. Hang on, fans. Now get ready for some extra fun. Please welcome onto the field School Pioneer Marching Band. Fans, put your hands together and enjoy this 230-piece band as they play All I Do Is Win.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. It's NCAA Division III football on tap this afternoon as the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets play host to the number 2 team in the country, the Mount Union Purple Raiders. At the half, Mount Union leads at 21-17, but I don't think that score is quite as indicative of as well as the Yellow Jackets have played in the first half. You look at the rushing yards, and outside of a huge run of 28 yards from Mikey Maloney late in that first half to set up the go-ahead touchdown run for Mount Union, Baldwin Wallace has dominated running the football today. 19 carries, 120 yards rushing the football. Mount Union, 14 carries, 60 yards rushing the football. Maloney accounted for nearly half of the team's whole first half rushing yards on just that one carry, Brian.
And unfortunately, it really hampered how Baldwin Wallace was playing this first half that allowed them to score right at the end. But yeah, they got half their yardage in one scramble, and that put them in the great position to go ahead.
So taking a look at the individual numbers, George Limburger leading the way for the Yellow Jackets, 95 yards, no lost yardage on 13 carries. He has 1 touchdown and a long run of 27. Charlie Bubonics passing the football, 9 of 20 for 100 yards with 1 touchdown. No sacks, no interceptions. Tim Conwell leads the team in catches with 4 for 62 yards and a touchdown. Xavier Balson, 2 for 16. Shondell Gardner, 1 for 9. Tavion Greaves, 1 for 9. Also rushing the football for the Yellow Jackets, Boston Molinax, 27 yards on 5 carries. Looking at the Mount Union side of the ledger, Mikey Maloney, 4 rushes, 47 yards, a long run of 28. Darnell Williams, 17 yards on 6 carries with 1 touchdown. Sean Thomas with -4 yards on 4 carries, but he has a touchdown for the Purple Raiders. Maloney, 16 of 22, 185 yards and a touchdown, no sacks and no interceptions. Nick Turner, his favorite target, 5 receptions on 7 targets, 83 yards, 15 yards after the catch, a long of 34 yards. Davion Grant, 3 catches, 49 yards. Jacob Cockrell, 2 for 21. Sean Thomas, 2 for 16. No punts in the first half for either team. Total yards belongs to the Purple Raiders, 245 to 220. You look at it, neither team has lost a fumble. Mount Union's fumbled at once. 2 for 10 yards on penalties for both teams. Time of possession, 15:03 for Mount Union, 14:57 for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Doesn't get much more even than that. Baldwin Wallace has it teed up at the 35. It'll be Robert Feemster Jr. who will send it away. The Jackets will defend the south goal here in the third quarter of play. Matt Florjancic and Brian Verkan on the call of the Flow College Division III game of the week between Mount Union and Baldwin Wallace. It's scooped up by Williams. He runs all the way across the field. He's got some green in front of him. He's across the 35 to the 45, but there's a piece of yellow laundry that was thrown in on the sideline, and it will be a penalty that will be discussed by the officials.
Yeah, it looked like right as he was turning that corner, Mount Union had a defender right, had just spun him and was holding on to him right in the ref's line of sight, and can't help not call that play.
A little bit too much of a seal on the seal block on the edge there. So a holding penalty will back up the Purple Raiders 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which was the 35. That'll back Mount Union up to the 25-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Purple Raiders from their own 25-yard line, and we'll see what the Yellow Jackets have in store for them defensively. It was not the effort over the last minute and 7 seconds that the Yellow Jackets wanted as the Purple Raiders marched down the field and scored the go-ahead touchdown. Now we'll see if the Yellow Jackets can get off the field here early in this third quarter and try to get the offense the ball back in position to take a lead. Turner goes in motion, left to right, then back left. He'll catch a screen pass at the 20. He turns the corner to the 25, 30, and he's run out of bounds short of the first down yard line to gain. He'll be about 2 yards short, called a gain of 8 on first down.
Mount Union loves running that play on first down, a little flare out to the left or right. Get a bunch of yards right up front on first down, make it second and short, and then second going forward.
2nd and 2 for Mount Union. Ball at the Purple Raider 33. Maloney with a lot of company in the backfield takes a snap, hands off inside to Thomas. He has the first down, pushes off a defender, gets to the 40, 45, and gets wrapped up and taken down by Hasim Rashid at the 48-yard line. And this is not good news for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Linebacker Devontae Jackson is down at the 42. Looks like the training staff is trying to loosen up his right calf, as maybe he just cramped up. And we hope that's all it is Devontae is helped to his feet, and he will jog off to the sideline. He has to take a play off, but that's a good sign for the Yellow Jacket defense. You can't replace a guy with his speed, playmaking ability, and experience at this level. The ball was spotted officially at midfield, so the Purple Raiders gained an extra couple of yards at the tail end of that play, and it'll be 1st and 10 Mount Union from midfield. 3 receiver set. Maloney motions Grant right to left. Maloney takes the snap, fakes the handoff, flares it out to Grant. He catches it in the backfield, gets it to the 45, to the 44, and he will get no further.
That one was a little bit more of a long developing play. Usually it's usually a quick flare out. That one was a little bit more longer getting set up. So maybe they showed a little bit more of a different front for Baldwin Wallace to see, trying to throw them off.
Maybe so. Either way, gain of 6 brings up a 2nd and 4 for Mount Union from the Baldwin Wallace 44. Pre-snap shifting. Grant goes in motion between the quarterback and the running back. The handoff is a fake. And now on a beautiful pass down the sideline, it's Grant at the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Purple Raider touchdown. Quick strike offense. And the play fake burned the Yellow Jackets. And now Mount Union is back up by 2 scores.
I mean, right out of the gate, right at the start of the second half, Mount Union wanted to play fast. They played fast. They had a bunch of great big plays, and then capped it off with that good 40-yard touchdown.
Merrick on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Mike Franklin, the sparsely used punter for the Purple Raiders. The snap is back, the ball is down, the kick is on the way, and the kick is good. 28-17. Mount Union leads Baldwin Wallace with 12:59 to play here in the 3rd quarter. We're going to hold on. Before we step aside for a break, there's some yellow laundry on the field. And the officials will have a discussion. The umpire currently talking with the referee. So a penalty on Baldwin Wallace for running into the kicker. That's 5 yards that will be assessed on the kickoff. So Mount Union will be kicking it off from the 40 instead of the 35. We're going to step aside for a brief break. When we come back, we'll have that kickoff and the continuation of the 3rd quarter as Baldwin Wallace looks to chip away at an 11-point deficit. You're watching Baldwin Wallace and Mount Union battle in the Flow College Division III game of the week. Rafferty on to kick it away for Mount Union. Greaves and Hutchinson back deep for the Yellow Jackets to return. 12:59 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's Mount Union 28, Baldwin Wallace 17. Matt Florjancic and Brian Verkan on the call of the action today. It's the Flow College NCAA Division III game of the week between the 2nd-ranked Purple Raiders and the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets looking to upset Mount Union. They have some digging to do after Mount Union got that double dip that we were talking about to take a lead going into half and then build on it at the start of the second half. They get touchdowns with 3 seconds left in the first half, and then within 2 minutes and 1 second of the second half beginning. So plenty of work for the Yellow Jackets to do in terms of digging out of the 11-point deficit, but that starts now as Baldwin Wallace will get its first possession of the second half on this kickoff. Rafferty puts the right foot into it. This one's a driving kick that's going to go all the way out of the back of the end zone. That's a touchback. And after a couple of long returns by Greaves, Mount Union not playing around there, takes advantage of the wind being at their back and sends it out the back of the end zone for the touchback. The wind has picked up a little bit. The American flag that is in the southeast corner of Finnie Stadium starting to extend a little bit from the wind that is blowing directly north to south. So the Yellow Jackets going into the wind on this first possession of the second half. Bubonics will be in the shotgun formation. Bunched double receivers out right. Handoff goes to Lindberger. He gets it off to the 25 and to the 29-yard line. So call it a gain of 4 on first down. And brings up a 2nd and 6 from the 29 for the Yellow Jackets.
Going back to that simple handoff right up the middle, seeing if you can get any positive yardage on it. They did. Yep, 4 on first down. Put it 2nd and 6.
So Lindberger knocking on the door of 100 yards rushing. He needs one more to eclipse the century mark. He'll flank Bubonics on the right side. They'll move Speedy right to left, 2 receivers out right. Bubonics takes the snap. He's looking down the middle of the field. He has Bolson, and he overshoots the intended receiver by about a couple of yards. Bolson had good position on him. He'd still be running if he caught it in stride.
Yeah, he made a great move to the inside. However, Bubonics just overthrew him just quite a bit, and then he didn't have the opportunity to go catch it, get underneath it and catch it.
So 3rd and 6 now for Baldwin Wallace from its own 29-yard line. And what you really don't want is a quick 3 and out. They need a conversion here to keep Mount Union from snowballing the momentum. 4 receiver set. They're going to try to jam Conwell at the line of scrimmage. They'll move Greaves in motion left to right. Bubonics takes the snap. He's looking at Conwell the whole way. He's throwing down the sideline. And again, Bubonics just a little bit too long. Conwell had to step on his man.
Same thing again. This one, he made a great move to the outside. Got a good separation. Just overthrew him again. Couldn't get underneath it.
So that Yellow Jacket possession of 51 seconds. Not the way you want to start off the second half. And now you're putting your defense a little bit in bad spot territory. On to punt it away. Is Eric Grosser Jr. He gets the snap back, kicks it away. It's an end-over-end kick. It's going to take a Yellow Jacket bounce, but still Mount Union going to be on a relatively short field as the field judge marches it up to the 40-yard line. Tough start for the Yellow Jackets in this second half. Give up a touchdown drive, then go 3 and out, and then have a decent punt on 4th down, but not as long as you would have liked to back up the Purple Raiders. And Mount Union will have it 1st and 10 at its own 40-yard line.
Defense has work cut out for him right now. You got to take that last drive, put it out of your head, and just
the last 2 drives really just forget about them. Focus on the present, not the past. You can't do anything about the past. The future's not here yet, so you got to act in the present. Turner goes in motion right to left. Maloney throws it to the out route, and it's Grant who was the intended receiver, but the official on the sideline is going to get an earful from Jeff Dart as he said that Grant was juggling the ball, and that's no catch. It's an incompletion. That's 2nd and 10 coming up for the Purple Raiders.
Looks like even if he did catch a ball, it looked like he landed out of bounds. He didn't land in. He landed right on the line. So, I mean, even if he did catch it, it looked like he was still going to be out of bounds. It was real close to the sideline.
So 2nd and 10 now for Mount Union from its own 40-yard line. Maloney in the shotgun formation, stacked receivers to the left, and the right guard lifted his hand and came out of his stance That's a false start on Mount Union.
Got his momentum a little too ahead of himself and
Greg
lurched
Rockwell.
forward.
Oh, sorry, Brian. Greg Rockwell Jr. guilty of the false start, so that'll back Mount Union up into a 2nd and 15 at its own 35. And like you said, just got a quick jump at the line.
Yep. Got a little anxious, and then just toppled over.
Maloney makes a call at the line of scrimmage. Gets the offense set. He'll split out Anderson wide left. Look for Anderson, and then he short hops Turner. And Turner's tapped down by Nolan Hartzell, but the official said that's incomplete. Not much Nick Turner can do on that play. I mean, when you're expecting a short screen pass and it short hops you, there's not much you can do to get on it.
No, he threw it right at his shoe tops. Really, really can't do too much with that.
Well, 3rd and 15 now for the Purple Raiders from their own 35-yard line. This is a must stop if you're the Yellow Jackets. 4 receivers on the field, 3 out left, 1 out right, 1 back in the backfield. Now they'll split Thomas out left. They'll flare it out to him. He catches it at the 30. He gets around the corner, and he gets driven out of bounds near the 45. There is a flag at the 33, and this will be interesting what the Yellow Jackets choose to do here. So the Yellow Jackets will enforce that 10-yard penalty. And it goes from the 35 now to the 25-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 25.
And the way that Mount Union is going for it on 4th down, like,
If they get 10 to 15 here, they might go for it. I agree. Maloney will be in the shotgun formation. Thomas the back in the backfield. Bunch 3 receivers. Now they'll pull one in tight. Maloney fakes on a draw. Now gives it to Thomas. He's across the 30 to the 35. And they're going to give him the 36-yard line. So he gained 11 on 3rd and 25. It's still 4th and 14. Dom Tromba came up with the stop for the Yellow Jackets. And now, for the first time today, we'll see Mike Franklin take the field for a punt.
yeah, Mount tried to did a delay handoff, nice little draw at the middle, got positive yardage, but Baldwin Wallace was waiting for it, and even though he got 10 yards, they weren't allowing any past that.
Back deep to return for the Yellow Jackets, number 0, Shondell Gardner. He's standing at his own 23. Good snap back to Franklin. End-over-end kick. Gardner's going to let it bounce at the 30, and it takes a Mount Union hop to the 26-yard line, and where it will be downed by Jared Pasco, the long snapper, hustling down the field. And the Yellow Jackets will have it 1st and 10, and that's a big-time stand by the Yellow Jacket defense, and they needed that in the worst possible way.
Absolutely. After the past 2 drives, they needed to have some positive momentum on their side of the ball, and that's exactly how you do it. Get Mount in the 3rd and forever, and you try to get them to punt, which they did, and you get the ball right back to the Yellow Jackets.
BW 1st and 10 and its own 26. Bubonics in the shotgun formation with 3 receivers. He'll hand off to Lindberger. Lindberger's across the 30, out to the 31-yard line. Called a gain of 5, and George Lindberger eclipsed 100 yards rushing against Mount Union. That is a rare and very impressive feat.
Rarefied air. Not too many people can put that on their resume.
No, but George Lindberger can as of now. 3 receivers in the formation. Conwell a slot on the left side. Speedy motions right to left. There'll be a wing on the left side. Bubonics takes a snap. Hands off to Lindberger again. He's around the right end. He's across the 35, and he's about a... Nope, they're going to say that he got the 36, and that's a 1st down for the Yellow Jackets. That was a generous spot.
Right on the line, and they're like, all right, keep going.
So 1st and 10, and they'll go back to Lindberger again. He bounces off of the first tackler, gets across the 40 out to the 41-yard line, and that's another 5-yard chunk for George Lindberger.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you keep on getting 5 yards of carry, you're going to get a lot of first downs out of this.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of carries, number one, and you're going to get a lot of first downs, number two. Greaves and Conwell will go out left. Conwell will be in the slot. Now Lindberger will flank Bubonics on the right side. And they'll go back to Lindberger again. He's looking for some space, and he's going to find maybe a yard out to the 42-yard line, but he won't get much more than that. And that'll bring up a 3rd and round 4 for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Purple Raiders, they finally realized, hey, why don't we put all of our guys in the middle, and they met them all at the line of scrimmage. Really wasn't able to get too much. Fell forward a little bit, so yeah, now it's 3rd and manageable.
Xavier Bolson one-on-one coverage out left for the Yellow Jackets. Bunched wide receivers in a triangle formation out right. Bubonics takes the snap, throws it over the middle. It's Conwell who could get only one hand on it. It was behind him, and he can't snare it for the reception.
He had him for the first down, just threw it way behind him. He got a hand on it, but he was falling backwards away from it. Really not too much he could do.
So the punt team will come on for Baldwin Wallace. On 4th and close to 5 against this Mount Union defense. Grosser will kick for Baldwin Wallace. He stands at his own 27. Grosser gets a great punt with the right foot. That's a driver that'll send the return man back inside his 10. Now Conwell with a chance, and they're going to wrap up the Mount Union returner. That's Ashby. He's stopped inside the 10 at the 7, and a little piece of yellow laundry is on the field too. The flag is picked up, and the Purple Raiders will start at 1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line. And this is where that opportunistic Yellow Jacket defense would love to force a turnover, just like they did the last time they were at home against Wilmington, where they got 2 pick sixes, including one that was in deep in Wilmington territory. No Devontae Jackson still on the field. He's getting loosened up by one of his teammates on the sideline.
It was a great punt, put him inside the 10. So yeah, hopefully this opportunistic Yellow Jackets defense could get a nice turnover right here.
Grant the motion man. The handoff goes inside. That's Williams. He's across the 10 out to the 11. Gain of 4. Brings up a 2nd and 6 for the Purple Raiders from their own 11-yard line. This is by far, in a way, the worst field position Mount Union has had all day. We'll see if the Yellow Jackets can capitalize on it. Maloney with Williams and Thomas in the backfield. He'll take the snap, fake the handoff to Thomas, flare it out to Williams. The Yellow Jackets not fooled, and ushering him out of bounds is TJ Gibbons from his defensive back spot after a short gain for Mount Union. Call it a gain of 3 out to the 14-yard line. Nope, gain of 2 out to the 13. Brings up a 3rd and 4 for the Purple Raiders.
Went back to that run option pass, kept the ball, Maloney, and then quickly tossed it. Was able to get positive yardage out of it. Well, hopefully the Yellow Jackets defense can stop him here on 3rd down.
3 receivers set for Mount Union with Turner a slot on the right side. Maloney fakes the handoff. He throws it left. It's complete to Grant. He has first down yardage and many, many more as he gets the ball out to the 29-yard line. That's a gain of 16. Actually, they're going to give him 17 as he gets it out to the 30.
Yeah, Grant found that softness in the defense. He was able to cut inside, and there was no one there. It was wide open.
Check that. The ball has been respotted back to the 29-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Purple Raiders at their own 29, and they have held the ball for the vast majority of this third quarter, and they show no signs of giving it up yet. Stacked receivers out right. Handoff goes inside. That's Williams. He's across the 40, spins to the 45, and that's going to be a 16-yard gain against the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets for another Purple Raider first down.
Yeah, wide open running lane right up the middle of the field, and he didn't get touched for 15 yards.
So 1st and 10, Purple Raiders from their own 46-yard line now, and they're starting to roll a little bit offensively. Really, that last drive of that first half and the first drive of the second half, they've been really on par, minus the punt. They've been on the field a whole lot today, moving the football against the Yellow Jackets. Fake handoff to Williams. Maloney going to air it out long, deep down the field. He has a man, and he overshoots the intended target. That's Jacob Cockrell, who is the intended receiver. It's incomplete. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 46. I like the play call by Mount Union. Why not take a shot deep?
And he made it. Even though he was double covered, he still had a good step on his defender, but he was just an underthrown pass. He wasn't able to get to it. Luckily for Baldwin Wallace.
So 2nd and 10 for Mount Union at the 46-yard line. Maloney with 3 receivers in the formation. One's Williams. He'll get called into the backfield. Maloney will take it himself around right tackle. Dom Tromba there to be the initial greeter. And then TJ Gibbons helped finish him off. After a short gain, call it a gain of 3 out to the 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, just a simple QB keep. He really had no interest in throwing it. Just kept the ball, ran it to the outside. Got 2-3 yards out of it, and now it's a 3rd and long. Hopefully the Yellow Jackets get it off the field.
So it'll be a 4-receiver set when the Purple Raiders get in formation. Cockrell out wide right. Turner in a slot on the left side. Now they'll motion Grant into the slot as well. Maloney looking left the whole way. Finds Grant. He's going to be stopped short as coming up to make the tackle from his linebacker spot. Luke Budziak, the 6', 200-pound senior, coming up and making a play for the Yellow Jackets. He's in the lineup for Devontae Jackson, who's still trying to get loose on the sidelines. And that stop from Budziak helps force the punt team back onto the field for the Purple Raiders.
Great tackle, hit him right as he caught the ball, didn't give him the opportunity to try to spin out of it. And then even they hit Maloney on the back end, trying to just get him rattled, make sure that he knows that the defensive line's there, that he just doesn't have all the time in the world.
Franklin catches a snap. He'll launch the kick. Gardner will get away from it. It's an end-over-end kick, and it's going to get into the end zone for a touchback. It should be a touchback. Yeah, there you go. Okay. And the official makes a late signal as the gunner for the Purple Raiders ran down and was clearly standing in the end zone when he touched the ball to bat it back to the team. And I thought for sure if they spot this at the 1, Coach Hilvert might need to have a timeout to cool down because that would have been a disaster scenario for the Yellow Jackets.
You had to have a discussion about if it was a touchback with 2 of the refs when they were standing right in front of it.
1st and 10 Yellow Jackets from their own 20-yard line. 4-receiver look. The handoff goes to Molinax. He's over left guard, and he is to the line of scrimmage and not getting any further as he is wrapped up and stopped by a couple of defenders for the Purple Raiders. Parker Logan in on the stop, as was linebacker Caleb Brown. 2nd and 10, 3 receivers out right. It's a flare out to Molinax. He catches it, gets it to the 20, bounces out, and gets to the 21, maybe the 22. It'll be a 3rd and long for the Yellow Jackets, and this possession is going very quickly for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah,
Made it a little too quickly.
They started to get into the hurry-up offense and really didn't hopefully catch them napping, but Mount Union was waiting for them and only got a yard out of that.
So it's 3rd and 9 for the Yellow Jackets from their own 21-yard line. And thus far, George Lindberger has been on the sideline for the Yellow Jackets. It's been Boston Molinek's drive. It's a 4-receiver set. They'll motion Gardner right to left, and a flag flies, and the Yellow Jackets are going to be moving backwards because they got an early start up front. Nick Lulo, the left guard, flag for the false start. So 3rd and 9 becomes 3rd and 14. And the Yellow Jackets have it at their own 16. They need the 30 for a new set of downs. 4-receiver set, 2 bunch to the right, 2 spaced out wide left. Now they'll pull Gardner right to left. Ubonix takes the snap. He's flushed out of the pocket, steps up, and he's going to stay on his feet momentarily, but then get to the line of scrimmage and not any further, and it's a 4th and long for the Yellow Jackets, and that's a punting formation, and Eric Grosser Jr. will be sent on to punt it away, and hopefully he's got another good kick in his back pocket that he can drive the Purple Raiders back to. Otherwise, Mount Union's going to have some really nice field position after this possession.
Yeah, that offensive line, that line collapsed, and Lubanus had nowhere else to go. He tried to step up into the pocket, really couldn't do anything about it.
Grosser fields a snap at his 3, launches it, and it's a nice kick. It'll be fielded at the 49. Ashby on the return. His jersey tears away, but he's only able to get about 4 yards on the run back. Grosser got that kick away with plenty of heat coming his way from the Mount Union press. And it'll be 1st and 10 Purple Raiders on the Baldwin Wallace side of midfield.
He got roughed up pretty good, too. I'm shocked there wasn't a penalty call.
So were the Yellow Jackets. Believe me, that sideline was, again, here, pun intended. But they were buzzing at the officials. They were hoping to get a call that did not come to fruition. So it'll be a 1st and 10 Mount Union at the BW 47-yard line. Grant out the widest on the left side, Turner in the slot on the left side, and then it is Cockrell in one-on-one coverage on the right. Maloney takes the snap, hands off to Thomas. He's to the 45. He's going to be stacked up and dropped. In on a stop, it'll be TJ Gibbons and Dom Tromba for the Yellow Jackets.
A simple run to the right side, but yeah, Tromba was right there waiting for him and wrapped him up and drove him right into the ground.
2nd and 8 for Mount Union. Under a minute left to go here in the 3rd quarter. And Mount Union up 28-17 over Baldwin Wallace. Driving in BW territory. Cockrell goes out wide left. Turner in a slot on the left side. And it'll be Grant on the right side. Handoff is a fake, and over the middle, it was thrown to Grant, and it's incomplete. And T.J. Hansel from his strong safety spot doubled over with his hands on his face mask in frustration, because if he was a half a step further along than where he was, that could have been a pick going back the other way.
Yeah, that was a questionable decision by Maloney throwing that ball right there in triple coverage, and he had his receiver not even looking for the balls. He's lucky. That's the worst that would happen. Is
usually a recipe for disaster. 3 receivers out left, 1 out right. Maloney takes a snap, surveys the field, looks left, and takes off. He's to the 40, and he's going to have 1st down yardage across the 35 to the 30, and a Mikey Maloney has the 1st down for the Purple Raiders.
He doesn't want to run too much, but when push comes to shove and they need a 1st down,
he can get it. There's no doubt about it. The Concord Township native, Riverside High School graduate, sets the Purple Raiders up with a 1st and 10 at the Yellow Jacket 29, and we have some flags flying and some early movement, and we will hear from the referee what the call on the field is. The Yellow Jackets appear to have jumped into the neutral zone. The question is whether Mount Union moved first, but I think it's going against BW. Yep, offsides on the defense. That's Steph Davis, who got an early start to the play. That'll bring up a 1st and 5 now for the Purple Raiders from the 24-yard line. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter as the Purple Raiders will run out the clock. And they'll take a 28-17 lead into the fourth quarter of play over Baldwin Wallace. You're watching the Flow College Division III Game of the Week between Baldwin Wallace and Mount Union. We'll be back with fourth quarter action on the other side of this break. Welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. It's the Flow College Division III Game of the Week between the host Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and the number 2 ranked team in the country, the University of Mount Union Purple Raiders. After 3 quarters of play, it's Mount Union 28, Baldwin Wallace 17. Matt Florjancic and Brian Verkan on the call of the action today as the Purple Raiders will have it 1st and 5 at the Baldwin Wallace 24 as we get set to start the fourth quarter. And if you're Baldwin Wallace, the key is to prevent the big play from happening here. If you can make a play in the backfield, that's great, but Maloney has been able to skirt by a lot of pressure from the Yellow Jackets. It's been tough trying to get back to the Mount Union sophomore.
And every time they think they got them on the ropes, he's able to squeeze out a good pass play, a good run. It's just they haven't been able to capitalize on these 3rd and longs, 4th and longs.
Well, 1st and 5, it'll be a handoff to Thomas. He's around left tackle to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Purple Raiders. That was just too easy. It was a well-designed play. They sealed off the left side of that line, and then Thomas was gone to daylight.
Yeah, they tried to push him out of bounds around the 5, but he was able to swat him off like a fly and just keep on going to the end zone.
So now the Purple Raiders doubling up the Yellow Jackets, trying to build on the lead as they'll send Merrick on to attempt the extra point. We apologize for any language that was just picked up by our microphones from the coaching booths that are up here next to us at Finnie Stadium. The extra point try is on the way, and the extra point try is good. Mount Union now leads it 35-17 with 14:51 left to go in the fourth quarter, and it's soul-searching time for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. They have to find something that works, and they have to find it in a hurry.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of time left. They got to make a quick score here. They got to at least to keep it within
shouting distance. Yeah,
you got to make a big score here if you want to stay in this game. This is a big opportunity for the offense to keep this game a game.
Again, our score 35-17 early in the fourth quarter. Baldwin Wallace trails Mount Union. It'll be Rafferty who comes on to kick it away for Mount Union. Mount Union kicking into the wind here in the fourth quarter. And back deep to return for Baldwin Wallace. It's Greaves and Hutchinson.
That's unfortunately just how good Mount Union is. You got the defense really only gave up a couple big plays, but Mount Union takes advantage of every opportunity they have.
They are extremely opportunistic. You don't win 13 national championships by not being opportunistic when chances are presented. Greaves on the return from the 3. He's out to the 30, 35, and a shoestring tackle kept him from getting much, much more as he once again gets a nice return for the Yellow Jackets out past the 35.
He's had 3 great returns, and each one of them he's caught up right at the end that he could have even gotten even more yardage, but still good field position for Baldwin Wallace to start here on this possession.
1st and 10, Yellow Jackets at their own 37-yard line. They trail it by 18 with plenty of time left in the fourth quarter to chip away at the deficit, but they have to get some scores, and they have to get them in relatively quick fashion. They can't afford to have a 9-minute drive. They'll run out of time. Lindberger in the backfield, 3 receivers set, a wing on the right side. Bubonics takes a snap. He'll hand off to Lindberger. Lindberger pushing the pile across the 40 out to the 42-yard line. So a gain of 5 on first down sets up a 2nd and 5.
Good play call on first down. Just get positive yardage. You don't have to hit a home run right now, but you got to get some chunk plays here, 5 yards here, 6 yards there. That works. It's going to keep you ahead of the sticks.
And you have to keep some confidence going, too. It's easy to fall prey to the scoreboard, but the Yellow Jackets showing that they're still in this fight as they move Speedy out to the wing on the right side. It's 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Lindberger takes the handoff. He's across the 45, 50 to the Mount Union 45, to the Mount Union 40, down to the 39-yard line. That is a nice run of 19 yards for George Lindberger.
Great chunk play right there. Get him on the Mount Union side of the field. You need big plays like that right now, and he's going to get them to you pretty much more often than not.
So 2 receivers go out left. That'll be Conwell in the slot on the left side. Speedy will shift to the left side as a wing. Bubonics takes a snap. He gives it to Lindberger again. Lowers the shoulder, and he will push the pile to the 35. The linesman says he's at the 35. And that's where he will be stopped. So nice gain of 4 on first down.
And positive yardage on first down. You're just trying to make it easier for this offense to get more yardage instead of playing 2nd and long, 3rd and long.
Yeah, and you're also trying to set up a potential pass play here. If you keep chipping away at the defense with the run game, maybe you can hit a bigger pass play. 3 receivers in the formation. Bubonics hands off to Lindberger. Again, he lowers the shoulder. He switches to the left side of the field, gets to the 30-yard line, and will get no further. Actually, they're going to back him up to the 31-yard line. So another nice gain, positive yardage from the 36 to the 31. 5 yards sets up a 3rd and 2 for the Yellow Jackets from the Mount Union 31-yard line.
Great vision, ran to the right. There was nothing there. Took a hard step to his left and was wide open over there and was able to make it now 3rd and 2.
3 receiver set for the Yellow Jackets. Gardner, one-on-one coverage on the right side. Bubonics takes a snap, hands off to Lindberger. He's hitting the backfield, doesn't matter. He's still pushing the pile close to the 29-yard line, and the linesman on the Yellow Jacket sideline says, hey, that's a first down. And the Yellow Jackets will get a new set of downs.
Yeah, forward momentum got him over that line. Mount Union tried to push him back. Almost looked like a face mask as he was trying to drag him down. I don't know if he got him just by his chest plate, but he still got the first down out of it. And, yeah, fresh set of downs.
So 11:40 left on a running fourth quarter clock. The Yellow Jackets have it 1st and 10 at the Mount Union 29. Conwell in the slot on the left side. Gardner one-on-one coverage on the right. Greaves out wide right. Handoff goes inside to Molinax. And Boston Molinax gets a couple. Well, they're going to mark him down to the 28. So a gain of 1 brings up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, really didn't have a whole lot of running room on that play. So any positive yard was good on that one. But, yeah, he ran into a wall right as soon as he got the ball.
Greaves will check out. Gardner will go wide right. Conwell will go slot on the right side. And it'll be Xavier Balson wide at left. Molinax in the backfield. Speedy, the tight end. Bubonics hands off to Molinax. Molinax gets to the 25 and hustles his way to the 23, maybe the 22, and he will get no further. It's still a nice gain of close to 6 yards to the 22-yard line. Sets up a 3rd and 3 for the Yellow Jackets. Another 3rd and manageable.
Good pull play there by the left guard there. He was able to push him out of the way. And so then Molinax was able to get upfield and, yeah, make this a 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable.
Another 3-receiver set with Molinex in the backfield. Bubonics looks over the middle. He has Conwell. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. The post route works, and Conwell hits pay dirt for the second time today.
Great move on the inside. Was able to get great separation. Perfect pass right into the end zone. And great blocks by Molinex there on that. We had a defender coming in on a blitz. Molinex picked him up great. Just give him an extra second to throw that perfect pass.
Nice chip at the end by Boston Molinex. You don't give enough credit to the guys that block, and especially when they're the running back helping to chip. And that set up the throw. Beautiful route run by Conwell, and he was hit right in the end zone for the touchdown. 2-point conversion attempt here for the Yellow Jackets, trying to cut it to 10. Gardner in motion, fakes the handoff to Molinex. Bubonics is going to try to keep it himself, and he's going to be a yard short. He's going to get spun down at the 1. So the conversion attempt fails, and Baldwin Wallace trails 35-23 with 10-12 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. We're going to step aside for a break. On the other side of it, we'll have more fourth quarter action on the Flow College Division III Game of the Week between the host Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and visiting Mount Union Purple Raiders. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. The Yellow Jackets of Baldwin Wallace cut into the Mount Union deficit, or the lead, I should say, with a touchdown drive on the pass from Charlie Bubonics to Tim Conwell. The 2-point conversion attempt was unsuccessful, so Mount Union stays in front 35-23 with 10-12 left to go in the fourth quarter. Robert Feemster Jr. on to kick it away. A nice left-footed kick will be fielded by Williams at the 6. He's up to the left hash mark, and he's out to the 23-yard line, and he's going to be stacked up and march backward. So decent return. They're going to give him the 25, the line judge says. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Purple Raiders from the 25, and the Yellow Jacket defense needs to pick up on the momentum that the offense just gained with that touchdown drive and try to put a stop to this Mount Union drive in short order. Down 2 scores. You need short drives now for Mount Union.
This would be a perfect time for a nice turnover. You got all the momentum from the offense, had some really good runs, really good passes. You got to build on that. You get a good turnover here. This game is then thrown entirely in a different direction. But this would be a great opportunity for this defense to make a great play.
3 receivers on the field for the Purple Raiders. They'll motion Williams. Fake the handoff. Maloney trying to run it. He'll dance to the 30-yard line, and he takes about 6 hits from the Yellow Jacket defense before he's dropped after the 5-yard gain.
QB keeper to the left. Yeah, got hit 5-6 times by defenders. Kept on going, but still getting hit. And still not going to feel good.
So 2nd and 5 for the Purple Raiders from their own 30-yard line. 9:38 on a running fourth quarter clock. 3 receivers out right. Turner's in the slot on the right side. Grant will go out wide at the numbers. And on this side, it'll be Cockrell. He's on the near side. Maloney takes a snap. Hands off to Williams. Full head of steam. He should have first down yardage. And he will at the 35. He needed 5. He got 5. First down and 10. Mountain Union from its own 35.
Yeah, handoff right up the middle and got good forward momentum going. By the time he got hit, he was already at the first down marker, and that's where he was dropped. But fortunately, he was already past the first down marker.
Mountain Union very deliberate with their possession now. They're not breaking the huddle and getting over the ball until about 10 seconds left on the play clock. So they're trying to wear down the clock as much as possible. It'll be a handoff to Williams. He's across the line of scrimmage, and he's out to the 39-yard line. Called a gain of 4 on first down to bring up a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, it looks like how Mount likes to play. They start the pass to set up the run later on in the game. They get ahead of, and then they just use the running game to just milk the clock, wear down the defense. You just need your defense to hunker down right now and make a big play.
So Cockrell goes out wide right. Turner will be in a stack formation with him, and Grant will be their lone receiver on the left side. Maloney in the pistol formation takes the snap, hands off to Williams. He spins to the 45 and takes a good shot from a safety coming up to help assist on the tackle, but not before he got another Mount Union first down.
He's not getting that far past the line of scrimmage. Or the first down marker. He's just getting right at it, but that keeps on getting him first downs.
Right. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And Matt Anderson will check in for Wyatt Steele as Maloney looks to the sideline, and they will get the play call. Again, Mount Union in no hurry, up 12. They're trying to run down this clock as fast as possible. And they're pretty good at it too, by the way. 3 receiver set. Handoff goes to Williams. He's hitting the backfield, gets away from the first tackle, gets across midfield, and runs out of bounds at the 47-yard line of Baldwin Wallace. So call it a gain of 8, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 2.
They had him in the back. They had him right at the line of scrimmage, almost in the backfield, and able to get out of that. Then they hit him again after another 2 yards, but broke out of that and was able to get 8 yards out of it. That's just...
That says a lot about the young man and his ability to power through it. The legs never stop for any of these Mount Union running backs, and Williams heads off to the sideline, and he took a seat right behind a first wall of teammates, and I think he's starting to feel a little bit. So Thomas will spell him, and Thomas will have first down yardage and much more as he gets to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, and he's run out of bounds by T.J. Hansel at the 24-yard line. So it's another first down, and that's a big chunk play for the Purple Raiders.
Yeah, they use Williams to wear down the defense, and then when the defense is tired, put in Thomas, and then he's runs straight up, gets 20 yards out of the play.
Yeah, there's not a lot of flash to his running game, but the Lima Central Catholic product knows what to do when he's in open space, and he's pretty darn good at it. It's a 5'11", 190-pound senior out of Lima, Ohio. 3 receiver set for Mount Union. Maloney hands off to Thomas. Thomas to the 21-yard line on first down. Gains 3 to bring up a 2nd and 7. And this drive is just continuing to wear down that game clock. We're getting a master class right now in time management by watching Mount Union's offense operate.
This is exactly what they want to do with this drive. They wanted to barely get first downs, get fresh first downs, just waste the clock, keep the ball away from Baldwin Wallace, and it's exactly what they're doing. They've been doing it for years.
Well, the formula's worked to the tune of 13 national championships. No sense of changing it now. Handoff inside, and it's going to be close to, and that's going to be another first down for Mount Union as Caden Minner gets his first carry of the day and gets a first down. He's stopped by Hasim Rashid after a gain of 8 to the Yellow Jacket 13-yard line.
Get some fresh legs in there just for the offense after they haven't even tried to throw the ball on this drive.
Well, they haven't needed to either.
Just run it down the throat and then tell Baldwin Wallace to stop it.
Maloney makes his check at the line. 6 seconds left on the play clock. He'll motion Turner left to right, then back left. Maloney takes a snap, hands off to Minner. Minner to the 10. Stiff arm gets him to the 5, and he will not get any further. But that's a gain of 8 on first down to set up a 2nd and 2 for the Purple Raiders.
Yep, run off to the right. Again, fresh leg with Minner, and got a nice stiff arm, was able to get another 3 yards after that initial contact.
So Turner will check out, and subbing in is Wyatt Steele. So Mount Union going with a bigger look, taking a wide receiver off and putting a tight end on the field. And hustling off for one of the Yellow Jackets. That was Mario Mazzagatti who hustled off. And it's a full house backfield before a shift. And now they'll send Anderson out right. Maloney fakes the pass, steps up, tries to run it himself. He'll jitterbug down to the 2-yard line. So again, first down yardage, and it'll be first and goal for the Purple Raiders from the Yellow Jacket 2.
And then, yep, the fake handoff. Looked like he wanted to throw, but then just kept the ball and ran up the middle of the field. Was able to get the first down. Now you got first and goal. Yeah, from the 2? Yeah.
From the 2-yard line, Mount Union will have it first and goal. And we're approaching 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This fourth quarter has flown by. Mount Union took over with about 10 minutes left, and they've burnt 7 minutes plus off the clock on this drive. Maloney sends Grant in motion, hands off to Minner. Minner pushes his way across the goal line. It's a touchdown for the Purple Raiders.
A couple Yellow Jackets got their hands on him, but he kept his feet going, was keeping his forward momentum, and then just pulled himself into the end zone.
So now Merrick will be on to attempt another extra point for Mount Union. Snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is on the way, and the kick is good. Mount Union leads Baldwin Wallace 42-23 with 2:49 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. We're going to keep it here at Tressel Field and remind you that today's Yellow Jacket football game is being brought to you by University Hospitals, Straczynski Sports Medicine Institute, proud official healthcare provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. The Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, a great place before or after any Yellow Jacket event. Papa John's in Berea, the official pizza provider of Baldwin Wallace. City Barbecue, serving and creating happiness since 1999. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. And Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. You're enjoying today's Flow College Division III game of the week here from Baldwin Wallace. 42-23 is our score. 2:49 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Mount Union leads Baldwin Wallace, and Mount Union set to kick it away to Baldwin Wallace. Brock Huggins will kick it away for Mount Union. It'll be fielded by Greaves at the goal line. He's across the 10, gets to the 20, and gets clobbered for his troubles by Cale Lighty, the reserve linebacker for the Purple Raiders.
Thought he was going to be able to get a nice return out of that, but yeah, Cale just smacked him.
Yeah, that's good coverage right there. That's what you want to see out of your special teams unit if you're a special teams coordinator. It'll be first and 10 Yellow Jackets at their own 22-yard line. Bubonic still in at quarterback. Gardner and Conwell, the wide receivers, off to the right side of the formation. Bolson tight to the left side. Lindberger the back in the backfield. 2:43 left to play in this one. Bubonics fires it out to Gardner right side. Gardner catches it and gets knocked out of bounds after a gain of 5 to the 27-yard line. So brings up 2nd and 5 for the Yellow Jackets. And there's going to be a lot of sideline routes being run. Bubonics takes a snap. He'll step up and overthrow Conwell. Conwell had a step on a defender, and he clapped his hands in frustration because he knew that was a missed opportunity there for him and the Yellow Jacket offense. It's now 3rd and 5 for BW. 2:19 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Bubonics was a little scrambling a bit, he was able to get out from the pocket, did a little nice sidearm throw, but just a little bit too far for them to be able to catch it.
3 receivers out left, 1 out right. Bubonics takes a snap, fakes over the middle. Now all the time in the world in that backfield, and his pass gets deflected at the line of scrimmage and it's short of Conwell, so that'll bring up a 4th and 5 now for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, they gave him plenty of time, but great defense in the backfield for Mount Union. No receivers were able to get open, and when he was able to make that pass, it still got tipped at the line, so not too much you can do.
3 receivers bunched to the right side. It'll be Xavier Bolson out wide left with Lindberger in the backfield. Bubonics takes the 4th down snap quickly to Bolson. Bolson catches it at the sticks, gets away from a defender. He's to the 40 and gets cut down at around the 42-yard line. They're going to say he stepped out at the 41, but still a 1st down for the Yellow Jackets.
Good. Bolson caught it right at the 1st down marker, was able to spin out of that tackle, and then was able to get another 10 yards out of it and get out of bounds to save some of this clock and give Baldwin Wallace some additional opportunities.
It's the 2-minute warning. We'll take the break with them. On the other side, we'll have the final 2 minutes of this one between Baldwin Wallace and Mount Union. It's the Flow College Division III Game of the Week from Baldwin Wallace University. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Just 2 minutes left in the Flow College Division III Game of the Week between the Mount Union Purple Raiders and Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Mount Union 42, Baldwin Wallace 23. Baldwin Wallace has a 1st and 10 at its own 41-yard line. 4 receiver look for the Yellow Jackets, 3 outright. Bubonics takes a snap. Heavy pressure from the left side. He'll escape to the left side, and then he'll throw it into the Mount Union bench. It's incomplete. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Bubonics within a second was already a little scrambling for his life there. Great pressure there on the left side. Thought he had a guy open on the sideline, but just threw it out of bounds and saved it for this down.
Another 4 receiver set. 4 BW, 3 outright. Bubonics takes a snap. He throws over the middle. He overshoots Conwell, and Bubonics absolutely got crushed on the play. In on the pressure for Mount Union was Julian Solis, and the big man got loose and absolutely leveled the Yellow Jacket. Solis, a 6-foot, 250-pound freshman out of Mentor, Ohio, and I'm standing next to a former Cardinal myself, so I imagine that he was happy to see the former Mentor great step up and make a play.
I want to see Mentor players do well, but not against Baldwin Wallace.
So Lindberger takes the handoff. He gets to the 45, call it the 46, and maybe the 47, depending on if you listen to the line judge, and it's a nice gain for Baldwin Wallace.
And you got to give Bubonics credit on that last pass attempt. He knew he was going to get walloped and just stood in there and still tried to get that pass off.
Yeah, he got hammered, and he got the ball away. Credit him for doing that, but still, yikes, did he pay a heavy price for it. 4th and 5 for the Yellow Jackets. Bubonics has it sailing complete. Colin Quinlan was the intended receiver. It was off of Quinlan's hands, and it falls to the turf, and Mount Union can just about wrap this up. 1:09 left to go here in the 4th quarter, and Mount Union up by 19. After today, Baldwin Wallace will be on the bye week next week. They'll be back in action on October 11th when they travel to Westerville, Ohio to face the Otterbein Cardinals in a 1:30 kickoff. Mount Union, coming off of their bye week, go into next week, and they'll host Otterbein at 1:30. Then the following week, Mount Union will be at Wilmington in another 1:30 kickoff. That's October 11th that they will be in Wilmington. And October 4th, Mount Union will host Otterbein. Baldwin Wallace goes into the bye week on October 4th, and then they'll be back in action on the 11th. Maloney takes a snap. He'll hand off to Minner. Minner pushes the pile to the 42-yard line. And he'll gain right around 5 on 1st down to set up a 2nd and 5. should only have to run one more play to expire the final moments of this game. And it will be a victory formation for the Purple Raiders, as they will send Maloney under center to receive the snap. And the safety valve is Minner. He stands about 15 yards off the ball. Maloney takes a snap, drops the left knee to the turf, and that will exhaust the clock as the final seconds will tick off, and Mount Union stays unblemished, both in the OAC and overall. Mount Union improves to 3-0 on the season. Baldwin Wallace falls to 3-1. They are now 2-1 in Ohio Athletic Conference play. They fall to the Mount Union Purple Raiders 42-23. The Purple Raiders now 41-21-1 in the all-time series against Baldwin Wallace, and they have won 30 straight contests against Baldwin Wallace to again improve to 3-0 on the campaign. They're 1-0 in Ohio Athletic Conference play. Baldwin Wallace again goes on the bye next week. They'll be in action on Saturday, October 11th at Otterbein at 1:30. Mount Union, they had their bye week last week, and they will play the next 7 straight games in Ohio Athletic Conference play starting next week when they host the Otterbein Cardinals, and then they'll be on the road at Wilmington on October 11th. For everyone here at Baldwin Wallace, I'm Matt Florjancic. Thanks for watching today's Flow College Division III game of the week between the Mount Union Purple Raiders and the host Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Our final score once more, 42-23 in favor of the number 2 ranked Purple Raiders. For everyone here at Baldwin Wallace and my partner in the booth, Brian Verkan, I'm Matt Florjancic saying make today better than yesterday and make tomorrow better than today. Have a great night, everybody. And as always, go Jackets.